The world is full of podcasts.
Magic is waiting in weekly episodes.
And monsters might be danger or a friend in a fight.
But if you love a good crossover,
the adventures are just getting started.
Are you ready to meet some new friends along the way?
This is the Storyteller Squad Expanded Universe. Hello, adventurers. Welcome back to the Storyteller Squad and the finale of our Expanded Universe series. I'm joined today by our friends from $2 Creature Feature. Before we get started, let's check in with our heroes.
You know, it has been a while since I've taken a good vacation. I was hoping it would be more restful. This is Laura, she, her. I am playing Tammy Jo Marple, your hometown home finder, also she, her, who uses the Monstrous playbook.
Hopefully, I'll find lots of people to scam here. Hopefully. That's Eric, and I'm Nye. We both use the he, him pronouns, and Eric is the crooked playbook.
I'm bringing more bandages than usual. I've got Hello Kitty Band-Aids. I've got Neosporin. I think I'm okay, but we'll see. I'm Zelda Wardwell, played by Megan. We're both she, her, and Zelda's the Flake.
I just really want to give a helping hand. I'm playing Herschel the Mundane, and I, of course, am Mr. Ray. We both use he, him pronouns, and I'm very excited to play.
Hi, it's future Natalie, speaking to everyone from the edit. For some reason, this episode had some issues with my recording. I did my best to clean it up, and I hope y'all can forgive me for simply pushing through the episode instead of trying to re-record 4 hours of audio during the holidays. It's a good episode, I promise. Thanks for your patience, everyone. I'm Natalie Fuinia, and I'll be your keeper of monsters and mysteries. And so, for one final time in this crossover series, let's have an adventure. Last time, the heroes from Minneapolis had their professionally mandated vacation interrupted by an urgent mission in the middle of Lake Superior to stop a party of giants from reaching the mainland. Over the course of their adventure, and the others previously explored in this series, a pattern of increased demonic activity and stirrings across the country is slowly being uncovered. As we continue to question to what end do the demon lords conspire and direct their servants towards, we shift the focus of our story closer to the nondescript East Coast town of Jupiter Hollow, and more specifically, to the resort beaches of neighboring and aptly named Ocean City. These beaches have been shut down by local authorities as they conduct an investigation into a series of disturbing incidents where human hearts have washed ashore at high tide. DNA testing has tied these hearts back to several missing persons cases filed in and around the Chesapeake Bay region over the past couple of months. The officials have not made a public comment, though rumors abound attributing the deaths to shark attacks and all manner of other outlandish speculation. News of this suspicious and morbid situation has reached the attention of the monster hunters from Jupiter Hollow, and like it or not, this case has the distinct ring of supernatural activity. And so we begin. It's a sunny summer day in Ocean City, and your group have, either as a team or independently, come to this area to investigate these strange and unsettling rumors that you've heard about. Who should we start with?
Tammy said she'd take Zelda to get some replacement clothes the last couple weeks in Jupiter Hollow. It was a lot of fighting. And Tammy did say that when that was done, they'd go and they'd get some stuff, and Tammy could maybe help Zelda with her rumpled academia style, which is, I guess, what she's rolling with. At least a pair of new shoes.
Yeah, as long as Zelda's comfortable replacing rumpled academia with middle-aged business lady, then those are the only options available.
Oh no. It's gonna be a rough trip, but she's willing to try.
Yeah.
I don't even know if there are those kinds of shops in Ocean City, a boardwalk resort area in Delaware.
You might have gone to the wrong place, Tammy.
Yeah, Tammy Jo is looking in vain for a Talbot's.
I guarantee it was Eric that gave you the shopping advice. Eric was like, yeah, no, I'll show you. These are the best shops in town. I promise you.
Oh, okay, then you're coming, Eric.
Yeah, of course. We're a team. We're friends.
At this point, my stomach hurts when I don't know where you are, and I don't know what that is, but it's hard for me to sleep.
Obviously concerned that something might bad have happened to me. Definitely, not anything else. Promise.
You get used to it.
Oh yeah, Herschel's coming as well.
Oh, okay, cool.
Someone responsible had to drive.
Yeah. Oh, really? Eric said from this text, he said, "There's no way in hell I'm going alone with these two.
What?
You have to come."
Herschel, you big kidder, you. Oh, yeah. No, it's fine. Herschel also owns a car.
Yeah, that's true. That's actually something I took on my sheet.
Owns car.
I have a fairly new car in decent condition.
Oh, good. You're a step ahead of Tammy right now, then.
Yeah, I just want to say Herschel canonically has a Honda Odyssey, for the kids.
We'll say as we see Tammy Jo and Zelda perusing the, I wouldn't say meager offerings. It's just maybe not the sort of fashion you are used to with the glut of crop tops and tie-dye leggings and animal print jeans.
Perfect.
I don't think flip-flops are good. I need steel toe, Tammy.
Bedazzled leather or jean jackets. Probably both. Maybe some are a mix of the two.
Those t-shirts that have like person like in a bikini or like shirtless man that's very muscular.
Yep. There's shirts that say, "Hey, at least we're not in Jersey."
Tammy Jo does purchase one of those.
Fantastic. Can we get a description of Tammy Jo as you ring out with your new t-shirt purchase?
Absolutely. Yes, Tammy Jo is in her early 60s. If you picture any Kathy Bates role except Misery, and you have a pretty good picture of Tammy. Late middle-aged, little bit plump, got a lot of fluffy red hair, vibrant makeup, and her long nails are currently painted seafoam green in honor of this oceanside trip. And she's wearing capris and some espadrilles and a little crop jacket.
Yeah, you're able to check out, but from your vantage point here at this little clothing store, you do see the yellow caution tape and the occasional blinking emergency vehicle lights just a little bit down the boardwalk where you can see the entrance to the beach itself has been closed. And there's a couple of daytime officers posted there, making sure no one interferes or interrupts the investigation that is ongoing.
At that point, Zelda just is done looking at clothes. Like, she's just looking over there. She doesn't want to leave because that would be rude, but like, she's checked out. She's just like watching everything that's happening on the beach, and she's starting to reach for her little notebook.
Sure. As you pull your notebook out, let's get a little description of Zelda, our hero in training.
Okay, so she's about like in her mid, like 25-ish, average height. She's got like large round glasses, and her eyes are always kind of moving. You said her rumpled academic, so she's just like kind of like a long skirt, chunky boots, a shirt, maybe another sweater under the sweater, where she does have her throwing knives in her little crocheted pocket.
A double sweater in July.
Oh yeah, this is a mess. She's got like usually she has like a beret, and the biggest thing, she does have this like gray silver hair in a braid. That's kind of her family trait. She doesn't like talking about it.
Okay. But yeah, you pull out your notes. Would you like to investigate a mystery?
She's gonna look again over at like, Tammy seems kind of busy. Okay, she's checking out. So she's not gonna notice for a second. And I'm just gonna get a little bit closer. And yeah, she's gonna investigate a mystery. Absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah. That's 11.
Okay. Ask your questions. You get 2 of them.
I think she'll probably start right with what happened here. She's trying to figure it out from all the little bits and pieces.
Mhm.
How can I figure this out?
Right, you're not trying to be conspicuous despite your strange attire for the boardwalk here in summertime, peak tourist season.
Yeah.
But that does mean that there are plenty of people around, maybe even more so than there normally would be, since they can't filter in and sort of take up space on the beach. So everyone is here on the boardwalk, just making the shop lines very long. You probably were in that shop waiting in line to check out with your 1 t-shirt purchase for like 30 minutes.
That was the worst.
Yeah, all the employees have been stressed out by not only the ongoing like grim investigation, but also just the fact that like now all these tourists have nothing to do but bother them all day instead of going to the beach and swimming and engaging in the thing they actually came here to do.
Yeah.
So you're able to sort of weave in the crowd and not catch the direct attention of the officers who are sort of guarding the steps down to the beach. But you can look over this railing and see cordoned off areas. It looks like they've actually maybe put some structures on the beach to protect a certain area of the sand from being hit by the surf. And there's like flag markers in it indicating like number and for like an evidence tag, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it's clear you have the site of where the supposed piece of a person washed ashore. Yeah, you see a couple vans parked down there with like levels checking equipment for like checking seawater, trying to track like, oh, is there any more blood in the water? Can we find anything else that might lead us back to the person to figure out what actually happened to them? You see a couple like scuba divers coming out of the water and going to like take their stuff off. They've been maybe searching just the bay in general. So this is clearly the site to be if you are in the interest of investigating the cause.
Yes. She's excited because she's got the second question ready now. All right. This does not seem human. So then she's kind of going through all this research she does, and she'd like to know what sort of creature is it? Like that's where her brain thought is going on. Like this is not just a regular party went wrong.
Right. You can absolutely confirm, just given the level of local authority activity here, they are stumped. And all of this is sort of a theater that they're putting on for like the news and the politics of the situation to be like, no, we're doing everything we can. We've spared no expense in trying to figure out what happened here. But they have no idea, because how are you supposed to explain just a human heart washing ashore with no other evidence? As far as like the type of supernatural creature, does Zelda have like a library of knowledge, or does her family have ancient texts about different monsters that she could maybe reference? Or
she has an attic full of, and she definitely has a yarn board, because her whole idea is the monsters that my family fight are all connected. They aren't interested in the knowledge, but I am. So she's very much someone who just studies up, not just on creatures, but how they can be connected, or what like family trees of creatures, all of that. So she'd be going through her head like, what does this remind me of? Yeah,
I think mostly what you gather just from this like cursory investigation and like piecing together context clues, it's definitely an aquatic monster of some kind, since it's clearly washed ashore from the ocean.
Yeah.
And that calls to mind all sorts of different classes of creature. You have sirens and marrow, and
she's writing a possible list.
Yeah.
That could be. Yep.
Any of the legendary water, creatures could be responsible for something like this, whether it's the result of their natural way of preying on humans, or if it's like there's one particularly deranged mermaid out there.
Oh, yes. Yeah. They're vindictive.
I knew Ariel couldn't be trusted.
Oh, that's a terrifying story. Don't watch that cartoon. It's propaganda. It's mermaganda.
So yeah, that's what you got so far, is that the threat is from the water, and
they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, and these people are out of their depth, quite literally.
And she'll write that down, out of their depth. Quote, joke, maybe later. And she'll like take it, and then like she'll look around, they're not paying attention to her, but she still like zigzags back through the people and go back to the store.
Mm-hmm.
She'd get Tammy's attention. I feel like she'd take this to Tammy first.
Sure. We can say, however, you sort of rush and like wiggle your way past through the crowd, and you do pass by Eric and Herschel, who are maybe enjoying a corn dog or some cotton candy from one of the vendors.
Yeah. Zelda intensely passes by. She is not high. Like, there is something up.
Yeah. Face in notebook, scribbling away, completely oblivious. But let's describe our other two hunters who are with us here.
I'm going to say Herschel looks like Matt Bomer. I've never, canonically on the show, given a description. I usually like people to fill in, but now that I'm playing him. But he's in a Herschel's Diners Pirates, because Herschel's Diners sponsors his kids' soccer team. And on the back of his shirt, it says coach. I think he's standing there with Eric, and he's like... So, would it be tacky to get something off the boardwalk for the kids to, just like a souvenir for the trip?
Nah, I'm sure your kids would love it. How old are they again? 3, 12, 30?
Covering the gambit.
Well, Richard is 9 and Lily is 8.
Okay, which one was the one that I passed out at their birthday party?
Yeah, that was Lily.
Oh, she was lovely.
You have a vague memory of a child-shaped person.
There. Eric, that's a cat. Oh, okay.
Well, what does Eric look like? Because we see him trying to remember his close contacts children.
So I don't really have a celebrity for Eric to compare him to. I guess the best way I can describe him is he looks somehow permanently disheveled. He has messy black hair. He wears a red hoodie, and they've never seen him wear anything else. But it's not dirty, but also you're like, he can't have 12 different identical red hoodies, right? That's a little bit worn, and he also wears jeans. Again, it's are they the same jeans? I don't know, which have holes in them, but not trendy holes. That's wear and tear. Okay, cool.
Oh, that's from Barbed Wire. I know that look.
Exactly, yeah.
Holes along the seams. That's where it wasn't on purpose.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And he comes off quite affable, but at the first chance he gets, he's always just okay, so how can I scheme? And I think that's what he was doing with Herschel. He's all these people here, maybe I could do it. And then looks over to the police. No, it's too close. That's going to get me into trouble. Herschel, did you bring any of the contraband we usually track in your car, or did you get rid of that?
Well, I got my usual pocket knife, and I have a handgun.
Well, that's good to know.
For protection.
Yeah, of course. I forget that sometimes that's how this country works. Okay, right.
Speaking of which, did you know that we can legally own flamethrowers, except in Maryland?
I didn't. Yeah, I definitely didn't just make a flamethrower in your house one time. Yeah, no, I didn't do that. And I totally knew it was legal to own a flamethrower. The best part is you don't have Zelda's lying detecting ability, so I can lie all I like.
Speaking of Zelda, you reach Tammy Jo as she comes out of the thrift/souvenir shop. Eyes bright with excitement and possible theory crafting happening behind them.
Okay, hey, Tammy.
Yes? I've just been having the most wonderful conversations.
I'm so sure they're really interesting and not the thing that has been slowly killing me as I was waiting in line. But listen, okay, this is not related to that though. There's actually something going on and not just me wishing something was going on. Anyway, she pulls out her notebook and she starts this. Look at, there's something happening on the beach and they don't know what they're doing. And maybe it's connected to our stuff. I mean, here's the thing. Everything's connected, as you well know. I told you the entire drive here about how everything is connected. But look, okay, here's proof right here.
I believe you.
There's stuff happening. It might be a mermaid attack.
Oh, all right. What?
Or I told you SpongeBob was based on reality, right?
I don't remember having that conversation, but that sounds like a great one for our trip home.
That's low-key horrifying.
Yes, I told you. All these cartoons, they're not just made up. They come from some. Okay, I have to. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm going to focus. I realize I get a little. Okay, I'm going to take it down a notch. Tammy.
Yes.
Something bad is happening on the beach, and we have to help.
I know.
Oh, you say I have to talk people more into stuff. Okay, she'll look around a bit. Should we tell Eric?
I mean, we should at least tell Herschel. I will say I had been expecting to see some negative impact on the businesses here, but as far as I can tell, they're thriving. I thought maybe there was something bad happened on the beach here. It might affect us in Jupiter Hollow as well. But far as I can see, all that's happening here is a real influx of customers.
I do not understand your business point of view, but I understand that you have a business point of view. But okay, here's the thing. I'm just going to go look at it. I'm just going to wander over there and I'm going to start poking at stuff. It's less asking permission and just telling you that's what's happening.
Point of order, Tammy Jo, were you talking to the employees or the shoppers when you have these conversations?
The shoppers.
Okay, yeah. So as far as you know, they are making the best of a vacation that has been, quote, ruined, whereas the employees are having the worst summer of their retail lives.
But, is it just...
It's just the facts.
Yes. They are, however, probably raking in the cash from all these customers who have nothing else to do.
Yes, but coming with that is the issue of like running out of things they would never run out of.
Oh, yeah.
And then dealing with angry customers being like, I can't even buy a mug. What am I even doing in Delaware? Like,
I think Tammy was like striking up, was like sort of starting to see some of these like tensions starting to simmer and starting to sort of strike up friendly conversation to try to like simmer down some of this and bring everybody back to like an equilibrium of like light, meaningless conversation about the weather and what we're all going to have for lunch.
yeah. Oh, you can't buy a mug, but look, they have these novelty shot glasses. And I think we could all use a drink, shouldn't we? Here we go.
I'm going to buy 6 for my nephew right now. Yeah. Zelda, how about I'll just come along with you. Maybe I can chat with folks on the boardwalk a little bit as you poke dead things on the beach.
Yes, you're good at that. I'm intense for people, I think.
You are, honey.
And yeah, we should definitely tell Herschel.
Yes.
Thank you.
So you two are going to pass on this information to Herschel that you're going to go speak to the authorities?
Yes.
Well, we're definitely going down to the beach to poke stuff.
Okay.
Well, when you're speaking with the authorities, don't talk to cops.
Just saying, stand right here, you know.
Hi, Eric.
Hi.
Would you like to explore the beach? I don't have anything to take, and I'm uninjured. So I feel that if you wish to come along, you should. Because I like to give people chances to, you know, to not, I don't want to say stuff. Hey, Eric, do you want to like not be Eric for a little bit? Come to the beach with me?
It would be my honor.
Oh, you're being very Eric-y.
No. That was a lie.
Okay, so yeah, my head hurts when I talk to you sometimes, Eric.
You get used to it.
It's like a low hum. It's like having tinnitus.
I have standing prescription grade ibuprofen out in the van if you need it.
Just the idea of someone who would describe their own presence as being like experiencing tinnitus to me is maybe the best thing I've heard in a long time.
It's like a tinnitus of the soul.
Okay.
But
Listen,
yeah,
Listen, we're gonna work on this, Eric. We're gonna work on this. Maybe being around me is good for you because I believe in you. I think.
that's what my mum used to say.
Is that a lie?
No. Definitely. And don't worry, because I checked and I'm not able to sell anything we find on the beach because the water will have damaged it.
That's something. Okay, hey, Eric, come and poke stuff on the beach with me.
Okay, let's do this.
There we go. We'll stay with that. That's good.
Yeah.
So our group of hunters sort of make your way meandering over to this do not cross active investigation police line. And like I said, there's a couple officers there. They look like they're maybe just chatting about not the case because they're kind of there as just glorified security. But you can approach and ask them questions if you want to.
Tammy Jo, this is what we'll need you for. Do your weird wibbly wobbly woo on them. Also, I don't think I can legally show my face to them.
Just like pull your hoodie up. So they probably don't have jurisdiction anywhere that you have done a crime yet. Unless you have already done a crime since we have been here, which is possible.
Tammy, do you think I would be arrogant enough to return to a place that I've done a crime?
Yes.
That's a trick question. Of course I would do that.
You live in a place where you've done multiple crimes.
Yeah. But I'm honest about it now. I'm reformed. I'm changed.
That's a lie.
Yeah, that's a lie.
We all know that one's a lie. I don't need any special abilities for that.
She's just like rubbing her head.
Yeah.
Look, I read the first 8th of a self-help book, and they said admitting that you have a problem is the best way to cure the problem. So I've admitted it, and I no longer have the problem.
You skipped a few pages, didn't you?
No, I got to page 10, and then it got a bit boring, and I just stopped reading it. I'm sure it was just filler.
Can I use a move?
What move would you like to use, Herschel?
I want to use Oops,
Ooh.
which is where I just stumble across something important.
Sure.
I don't know if you want to give me something. To be honest, I would be fine finding a snorkel or like goggles or something like that sort.
Let's see how Tammy Joe's interaction with the law enforcement goes, and then maybe I'll have the oops come into play a little later.
Okay, that works.
So Tammy Joe, you can do your wibbly wobbly if that's the plan.
I think Tammy Joe isn't gonna use her mental wibbly wobbly unless she has to.
Mm-hmm.
She's just gonna start by just straight up trying to charm and distract. But I think she's both trying to distract them from what Zelda and Eric are doing and try to get a little bit of information out of them, but her primary motivation is distraction. So yeah, she just waltzes right up to the nearest clump of cops and sticks out her hand and says, "Hi, Tammy Jo Marple, your hometown home finder. I am just here on vacation for a few days. I couldn't help noticing there is all kinds of activity happening around the boardwalk here. As a small business owner, I am always looking for opportunities to extend my reach. And, I've actually been looking into some real estate in the area, really just looking into the local economy and, any concerns that local people might have about what's happening here. Does it seem to be affecting the local real estate market at all yet?"
The woman officer there, she has a little badge on her, indicating name. It says Lieutenant Fletcher. She raises an eyebrow and says, "Ma'am, most people who come here stay at hotels. We don't really have a thriving real estate market in Ocean City, at least not here on the boardwalk. But I can't imagine unexplained murders would do well for your line of business."
But what I am hearing, there is some opportunity. Is there much of a, short-term rental, Airbnb type market here yet? You, Natalie, do not need to have answers for this. This is just like Tammy Jo trying to keep them focused on her.
No, it's okay. I'm here for it.
Tammy's amazing and terrifying.
Yeah, Officer Burke, he's sipping his coffee and says, B&B would be a lot nicer than the place we're staying.
Is that so? Tell me more. She's just gonna try to pull as much information about his dissatisfaction with wherever he's staying, what he would prefer to see, his thoughts about his neighborhood, any pets he has. Just as long as possible.
Tammy's distracting, but also doing business. She can do more than one thing at once. That's why she's a professional.
Yeah, he just complains about the breakfast options at the Super 8 that he's staying at, a little outside of town, and it's just a cheap hotel.
Oh, so you're here from out of town are you here to investigate then? Did they bring you in?
Well, the force was kind of overwhelmed, so they've had us come in from different local counties to just sort of fill in for the less involved jobs. We're just watching the gate. And they point at the steps down, which are again barricaded with some the sawhorse things.
All right. So I don't suppose you then get any of the inside information about what they're figuring out yet.
Why don't you manipulate someone?
I love the idea that both Zelda and Derek don't go anywhere. They just stand perfectly still, just watching Tammy Jo. And Tammy Jo ends and turns around going, "Why are you still here? Go! Go!"
Zelda has a plan, but she got a little caught up in what's going on.
But yeah, Tammy Jo, roll to manipulate. See what you can glean from these officers.
That is a 7.
Okay. You gotta really say something in order to get these cops on your side.
She's going to pull out her business card. It is sounding to me like there is, as we said, a whole lot of opportunity here, and there is nothing that I like better than a good opportunity. I would love for you to do some thinking about what would make a more comfortable temporary home for you while you're here in Ocean City, and give me a call anytime. I'm here to do business as much as I am for pleasure, especially since it looks like I can't just go down and hang out on the beach like I was hoping. So I would just love for the two of us to keep in touch. How does that sound to you?
Officer Burke, he takes the card, looks it over. I'll maybe give you a call.
Excellent, excellent. And Lieutenant Fletcher, how about you?
She gives a glance over her, shift partner and looks back at you. Right now, the good state of Delaware is paying for where I'm going to stay, and I don't get paid enough to want to pay out of pocket. So, thanks, but no thanks, ma'am.
That's completely understandable, and I respect your frugalness. And she does. She means it.
Zelda and Eric, what is the plan here, right? Because this is a barricaded entrance to the beach. And also, like I said, there are, I don't even know if there's a name for them, but the scuba diving members of the authority police force who have returned and are unsuiting and maybe reporting to some other detective down on the beach who's got stuff going on. You see a medical van and a tent set up that there's people coming in and out of in white coats that are maybe running tests on the remains, that kind of thing. It's an active investigation going on down there.
So it turns out I'm pretty good at not getting attention towards me.
Okay.
And she's going to think about using her often overlooked move.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to kind of wander down there confusedly. And I kind of do circles, and I'm just going to find something interesting, maybe put it in my bag and come back. But I'm sure you have your own technique.
Is anyone coming with you?
Yeah, Eric. Well, no, Eric will also go down, but separately.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Herschel, do you want to be part of this?
No, I think Herschel's going to go off on his own.
Okay.
Yeah, split the party 4 ways. Yes.
We're all just wandering.
This is partially because I have a move for this.
Yep.
Just basically whenever I go off on my own, I get an experience. So
we'll go to Zelda and Eric, and then I'll come back and we'll do Herschel's thing.
Eric's going with Zelda, but as soon as Zelda looks like she needs to wander off to pull off the stealth, he's just gonna be like, cool, I'll do my own thing.
Yeah, you'll see the look in her eye just go a little fuzzy.
Yeah.
Why don't you act under pressure, the both of you, to see if you can make a stealthy approach on the beach?
No.
Okay, that's not terrible. That's an 8 from Eric.
Okay.
And Zelda obviously got a 10, obviously.
Yes, except for, if a 6 was a 10.
Okay.
Well, now I regret not coming.
It's fine.
I could have helped out.
This is why I asked.
Yeah, you could have got Eric a 10, exactly.
That's okay. Yeah. As long as one of us gets something. She is trying to get over stuff with a skirt and big boots.
So I think what it is, right? You say to Eric, I've got this plan. I'm going to be undetectable, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Tammy's Joe is distracting the police. And you go to just climb over the sawhorse. So
yeah, yep.
In your skirt, it gets caught on a nail. You get stuck. You're tugging at it. Eventually, Lieutenant Fletcher turns around. Ma'am, sorry, miss, you're going to have to, you can't be back there. You gotta come this way.
Yeah, I absolutely can't be back there because I can't move. I'm stuck. She'll start flailing more.
Burke, and then so Officer Burke will come over and work on getting you free. Now, I will say, this is a complete fail. You don't get to go down on the beach, unfortunately.
Nah.
But Eric, you knew that something like this might happen, and we're waiting for your chance to be an actual sneaky person and use Zelda's failure as a way to be the true distraction beyond Tammy Joe's just chit-chat. So you slip by.
Yeah.
Yours is a mixed success. So I'll say this. Once you're down on the beach, you know you won't be able to be down here for long. And so you're going to have to choose which area of the investigation you go interact with.
Okay.
If you go look at where the evidence markers are, if you slip into the medical tent, or if you try to somehow creep around and overhear a conversation happening between the two divers. I'll give you those 3 choices to pick between.
Okay. I'm trying to think what is the most Eric-y thing to do. I think going into the medical tent is probably what he would do, because I think in his head he's like, oh, I'm not that close to the people that could arrest me, but also it feels like he could steal something. I mean, investigate.
All right. So you wait for an opportunity to like move out from the planks of the boardwalk where you're just sort of in the shadows, and then quickly dart across the sand. It's tiring. Running in sand sucks, especially in a sweatshirt and jeans.
Yep, he did not come prepared.
So you slip in through the like plastic Velcro doorway of this medical tent, and inside you see there is sort of a coroner's table set up, and in different lab equipment in like portable metal shelving and like storage units, creating sort of a makeshift OR theater. You see on the table in like a little dish with just lights on it is this human heart. It is intact. It looks typical, I guess. I don't know if Eric has seen a human heart outside of a body before.
Yeah, it's maybe not a question we want to ask.
It is clear that this was not surgically removed. There are some arteries and veins that seem to just have been like torn to sever this thing, and like a little bit of connective tissue around it. But it's been cleaned and like sand has been removed from it. And again, it's just under analysis, basically. You hear the door of one of these storage containers shut, and a woman turns around, and she's got this like grim, not quite goth, like industrial look to her. Couple piercings, dark eyeliner, but then like a colorful beret and a bunch of like ear piercings and like a chain that like connects to her nose ring. And she just says, "Oh, you're not supposed to be in here."
No, I got very lost. I was trying to find a changing room, to put on like a bathing suit, but I don't think this is the right place.
Yeah, no, certainly not.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And she like goes and just sort of like pushes past you with like a microscope slide that she's going over to like put under a thing so she can look at the cell structure of whatever sample she'd just taken.
Oh. Eric's just gonna investigate mystery then. If this person's not accosting him, he's just gonna be like, cool, I'm just gonna have a look around.
She seems kind of distracted and like busy, and like she did her part by telling you, oh, you shouldn't be here, but like she's not gonna like force you out or anything.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Eric likes these people that don't make him leave places. So let's roll. Oh wow. That's a 14.
Wow.
Yep.
Incredible. Yeah, ask the questions.
Oh boy.
In fact, because it's such a high roll, if there's a question you want to ask that isn't on the list, you can have one of them be just sort of a question that you come up with.
Oh, that's far too much power.
You're so much nicer than me.
We're all in
Yeah.
trouble.
I was actually going to ask, could I steal this heart? But that will definitely get me arrested, so I shouldn't do that.
These are questions, not actions you want to take.
Yeah, well, that was the question. Does Eric No, I'm not wasting such a good question on that. Oh, I don't know. Oh, it's so much pressure. I don't want to ask the wrong question. I always think this is a weird one to ask, but what is being concealed here? Is like, because obviously it's a heart, but like, is there anything that Eric would pick up?
Like I said, the heart itself does appear to have been like torn out. And you look around and you don't see any other evidence. So that sort of confirms that the divers didn't find anything. They weren't able to like bring up any sort of other information about, where this came from, basically. You do see that there is an open computer screen that has like a report up and a face, like a picture of a woman in her like mid to late 30s and a little pin on a map and a bunch of other report things. If you sort of just like quietly scoot over and take a glance at this, you can see that this is identifying the woman who this heart belongs to. There's like a DNA confirmation record up.
Okay.
The pin on the map is Assateague Island, the last known sighting of where she was.
Okay.
The coroner, as she's like adjusting the like focus of her microscopic apparatus, is just sort of mumbling to herself. Cell death appears to have occurred after the heart was removed, indicating this happened while the person was alive. and rather suddenly and violently. I'm not a coroner. I don't know how to describe that with medical terms.
No,
but
don't worry about it. No, that sounds about right, yeah.
Basically, the heart being ripped out was a factor, but not the final cause of death.
Yeah, no, I follow.
Lots of stress hormones found in the tissue, that kind of thing.
No, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I follow. Okay.
Indicative more of a fear response. This was clearly some kind of attack and not a accident that caused this damage.
Yes, that makes sense. Cool. How many questions did I get with a 14? Did I just get
2?
The same 2? Cool. Well, that'll be my first one, and I might as well just ask it now because I can't imagine when I'm going to use these. What was it going to do? Hypothetically, what would somebody want a human heart in the context of a super... I imagine it's not good because that's a pretty horrible thing to do to someone.
Yeah. I think the way your mind is piecing this together, you immediately jump to, well, what would they want this for? Why would they need it? But then you sort of connect the dots and you go, oh, wait, but they left this heart out to wash ashore. They discarded it. This was what was not taken, basically.
Gotcha.
If the rest of her is missing and this is what got tossed aside, then clearly this was the one thing that they didn't feel was important enough to hide the evidence of, or to keep from getting out.
Okay.
If this was a serial killer, it'd be maybe their calling card, right? To be you'll never find the rest of them, but here's their heart. That kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. No, that makes... Okay, cool. Well, not cool. It's horrifying, but...
Yeah, terrible.
Yeah.
But...
Okay. Well, Eric's gonna, take all this in, think about it, swipe a couple of medical, just some scalpels and stuff, just for the sheer... Yeah, just because he can, yeah.
Yeah, you could quietly pocket a couple scalpels from the operating table.
Cotton buds. He doesn't really care what he grabs.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's just going to say, well, thank you. You've been lovely. Love the look. It's very cool. I will see you later. You didn't see my face. You didn't know I was here. Bye-bye.
Yeah, have fun on the beach.
This is,
completely focused on her deal.
Perfect. Eric is very happy with this interaction. Okay. And yeah, he's just going to try and go back the way he came, hopefully undisturbed. That might not happen, but hey.
Why don't you act under pressure to see how stealthily you are able to now retreat from the beach?
Yep. That's another 8. So that's not too bad.
So here's the thing, Eric. You see a Jeep of some kind, some vehicle that can drive on the beach itself.
Okay. Pulling
up, and there's maybe a couple other cars pulling up, and a bunch more people come out to start combing the beach. And they're a little ways off, but you can tell there's going to be a lot more official people on this beach soon. So you're either going to have to find a hiding spot and wait here until much later to leave, or you could steal a snorkel or something from the diver's equipment and just dive into the water and try and swim away.
You had me at steal.
Yeah.
Grabs a snorkel and dives into the water. Okay. I imagine that'll be a roll, but I'm okay with that.
We just see a little red sweatshirt bobbing in the waves.
Yeah.
All right. We'll cut back to Herschel then. Where did you go off on your own? I have something in mind if you're not particular.
Yeah, I'm open. Where did I go?
I was thinking maybe you just went to get an actual meal or a drink somewhere.
Yeah, that's pretty standard for Herschel. He's not about that monster life. It happens. He knows about it.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a family to worry about. He's not one of those folks.
Sure. So you go to one of these themed bar and restaurants. This one, for some reason, has seagull, but also pirate themed. So there's a big wooden statue of a seagull with an eye patch and a captain's hat and a big sword and a wing, even though it shouldn't have fingers on a wing. It was just Yarr! Welcome to the Briny Gull!
Yep. Oh, ahoy! Oh gosh, I really hope. Do you all have commemorative hats, like little pirate hats to?
You see the person standing behind this hospitality statue has a little paper pirate hat that's been folded out of one of the placemats. And then it's just some like teen with like bit of acne and like some like half, not even shaven, just like the startings of a beard that like isn't actually fully there yet, but they refuse to get rid of it, even though it would probably be better for their skin.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just kind of leaning over the receptionist kiosk like, there are instructions on how to construct Captain Gull's pirate hat on your placemat, sir.
I think Herschel's gonna lean against the bar and just, all right, just between you and me, how many of these can I walk out of the store with today?
Sir, you can have as many placemats as are already on the table that you choose to sit at. Will you be dining alone today?
No, I think I'll be dining with my 10 friends, and he slips over a $10 bill.
The kid looks at it, looks at you, and then like pulls out a bunch of the placemats.
Awesome.
And then rolls them up and hands them over to you and says, welcome, please enjoy your dining here at the Briny Gull where treasure is always to be found. And he hands it over to you.
Awesome, yes. Because now Herschel can get one for each of his kids, his husband, himself, and the people that he went with. I think the math is right on that.
Sure. So you go and sit down and just start folding these placemats into paper pirate hats.
Yep.
And this is where your oops is going to kick in. You hear a few footsteps behind you and some people settle into the booth right behind yours. You hear a woman say, so that's what the report has to say. We have to go to the press at some point, sir. And there's an older gentleman's voice. He says, God, this whole thing is such a fucking mess. All right, O'Malley, how are we going to spin this? Because we got a victim's name this time at least. Has anyone notified next of kin? And then there's like a thin male voice that says, yes, we have reached out and made sure to let them know that the missing person's case is ending in tragedy, I'm afraid. And the woman says, Commissioner, we got to open up the beach. These businesses are starting to get overwhelmed. What's the timeline on this? And he says, well, I got to talk to the officials over in Assateague, figure out where this woman went missing. The thin voice pipes up again. He says, actually, I've already taken the liberty of doing that, sir. Here you are. And he hands over like a bunch of papers that you hear shuffling around. Oh, yeah, all right. Went out for the horse trails. Never came back. Okay. Yeah, if they've released custody of the case? Yes, that has been taken care of. Okay, all right. O'Malley, you're on this. I need to be it before we talk to any press.
Don't we all? And I think he'll turn around to smile at them, and he's like, how y'all doing? My name's Herschel.
They kind of start and like look around. They thought the booth behind them was empty because from their perspective, you were like sitting on the inner corner, and so they just saw like the empty side of the booth.
Sorry to startle you. I just heard y'all talking about horse trails, and me and some of my friends have been looking for something exciting to do since the beach is gone. And I was really interested to know more about these horse trails.
And the commissioner kind of gives you a once over. Roll manipulate someone just to see if your charm comes off okay.
That is a 10.
Okay. When you say your friends and you are looking for something to do, they all kind of like relax. Like, oh God, he only heard about horse trails. That was the like thing that piqued his interest. The woman who's like in a dark gray suit says, well, it's not here in Ocean City, but if you were to leave and head down to Assateague, there are the wild horses down there, and you can sort of walk among the dunes and maybe see them. There's no guarantee. They just sort of roam around the island.
Oh, that sounds dreamy and kind of romantic. I'm out with my boss, so I don't know if I could do that, but I could probably bring my husband, but we need to find a sitter. Thank you all. That's really nice of you to let me know about that. I'm not from around here. I'm actually from Jupiter Hollow, and he pulls out his wallet and he hands him a business card. I own a diner. My name's Herschel, like I said. Do you want to see pictures of my kids? And he like already is like fumbling out like pictures of his kids to like show them. And yeah, it's got two of them. The older one there is Richard, and then the we call him Richie. And then there's the younger one. Her name's Lily. And yeah,
that's all very fascinating, sir. Actually, I just remembered we have that appointment. The commissioner will like stand, put his coat back on. Like they literally just sat down and he's already being like, I'm out of here.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Get to your appointment. Are you all officers? I'm
The like thin, skinny, gaunt-faced police officer is like, we of the Ocean City Police Department appreciate your discretion, sir. We'll be moving on to address the press. Please, I would ask that you not post anything on social media which you might have overheard.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm, back to blue. I'm all about that life.
Gross.
Herschel is lying on his ass.
Oh, yeah.
I like to feel like Eric felt that.
Yeah, of all the horrible things that ever Eric has lied about, that has to take the cake. That's like, oh.
A little snorkel bubble goes up. What?
Now I have tinnitus of the soul.
Yeah.
But yeah, they just kind of shrug you off and like file out of this little diner that they were trying to get a quiet moment in.
I think Herschel is gonna open up his phone and text the group chat that he has set up, and he's gonna say, "Hey, there's something going on the Assateague island. That's where one of the victims they know went missing. Might be worth looking into."
Eric's phone buzzes underwater and he goes,
Glitches immediately.
Yep.
I don't know why I've always pictured Eric as having a flip phone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a burner. Yeah, 100%. He doesn't care.
And it is burnt. It's dead.
Yeah, it's dead. Yeah.
But yeah, we can say, just to move the narrative along, that you all eventually meet up again. Tammy Jo, you're able to smooth things over with Officers Burke and Lieutenant Fletcher so that Zelda isn't arrested for crossing a police line.
I got a little tangled up. I'm sorry. Thank you, officers.
I dropped my pen. I was going to get my pen. I wasn't trying to.
Yeah, it's expensive. Like, it's a really good pen. Let me show you. It's a really good pen. Look at this pen.
And they just shoo you along. They don't want to have to deal with you.
That's a beautiful pen, honey.
Thank you, Tammy.
Eric, you come sopping wet, climbing onto the boardwalk at some point.
Yeah. Coated in seaweed.
People run scattering for a little bit as this man just crawls out of the water with your dark hair pouring water all over the wood.
And a new cryptid is born.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seaweed man.
Yeah. The corpse that walked.
Do you have like a move on your playbook, Eric, that lets you achieve criminal contacts or something as you go around?
Yes. So with the cricket, they get a background, and his is fixer. So he can basically just, if you need to buy something, sell something, or hire someone, you can roll and you can find that thing, depending on how well I roll.
Okay. Buy, sell, or find is the wording on that?
Yeah. Buy something, sell something, or hire something.
Go ahead and roll.
Cool. That's a 9. So on a 7 and 9, you know the only person who can do it, but there's a complication. Pick one. You owe them. They screwed you over. You screwed them over.
Okay. So what it is, right? You crawl out of the water and people run screaming. But there's like someone with a stand that's selling little novelty glass sculptures of plesiosaurs and like other sea serpent things. And there's like a little diagram that says like, protect the bay, save Chessie. And there's like a little cartoon of like a sea dragon. And there's somebody sitting behind the desk with like a big straw hat and like a messy gray beard. And he says, Seaweed man, huh? Hey, I could license that if you're interested in a product line.
At the thought of money, his ears pick up, and he's like, yes, I would love to.
Yeah, sure, just sign right here. There's like a document of like.
Yeah, he pulls out his sodden pen, which is just a biro that he stole, and he's gonna write his name.
Yep.
Well, he writes Herschel's name and Herschel's details, but in spirit, it's him.
Okay, yeah. You've now signed over the rights to the Seaweed Man IP to this like novelty shop owner.
Perfect.
The guy pulls out the licensing paperwork, and Eric's like, "Oh, you're a man of culture as well, I see."
Yes. Exactly.
Incredible.
All right. You do reunite with your group. You can share the information you were able to glean. And yeah, it seems like the most recent disappearance and like the starting location of this heart of the victim was this island a little to the south.
Yes, we should definitely go there. And we should steal a boat. I mean, we don't have to, but I'd like to.
Duly noted.
I'd also like to say I took the liberty of getting snack food for you all from this really nice restaurant that's, just off the boardwalk there. So, we've got fried mozzarella sticks, and I got a blooming onion as well. And I also made everybody little hats. Thought that just might be fun.
You are the sweetest, Herschel.
Zelda will take a hat and a corn dog. Oh, this is good. Thank you. And then she'll put another corn dog in her bag.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for later.
Are you going to steal a boat to get there, or are you going to take like a car? There definitely are bridges to Assateague Island. You don't have to.
Oh, I imagine. Yeah, he just wants to steal a boat. It's not a logistics thing. But we don't have to.
My sneak's a little off, apparently. We should probably go legal for now.
I have already handed out several business cards here, Eric, so I am unwilling to engage in any unnecessary illegal behavior. Let's keep it above the board where we can, okay?
All right, party poopers. Didn't your mothers ever tell you when you're on it's not a proper holiday unless you get arrested?
Not a proper holiday unless you steal a water vehicle.
Exactly. That's why we can't go to Ibiza anymore.
Yeah, we didn't go on vacations. We went on quests.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that like a sad vacation?
I mean, it depends if you, succeed in the quest or make it worse.
Isn't that all holidays, though? Like, they always are worse than what you imagine.
I guess.
I don't know. I've taken some that went really well. I mean,
Like when the head doesn't come off the first slice.
Oh.
So, then your sister has to keep going at it.
Yeah, like when someone realizes that you're pickpocketing them and they chase you and you've got to run and then they catch you and then you've got to, break out of prison.
You lose your shoes on the London tube system and you never find a pair that fit quite the same ever again.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah.
Or Disneyland's out of dole for the day, so...
Yeah, all our experiences are about the same then, I guess.
Incredible.
Oh. Okay, so we're taking the legal route. Fine.
Yeah, you'll just pile into the Honda Odyssey.
Yeah.
I'm stealing something when we get there.
Tammy has already looked up the directions on her phone while this entire conversation was happening.
Mm-hmm. Again, it's not that far, but with your afternoon of activity on the Ocean City Boardwalk, Tammy, you think you'll be arriving a little after dark.
Perfect.
And you do see that a lot of the beaches on the island are technically closed, but if you're there to investigate something on the sly, that might be helpful to have cover of darkness.
Exactly. We all have night vision here, right?
Sorry, Herschel, your Honda's going to be...
What about my Honda?
If you notice that it has gotten very wet very quickly, that's because I took a swim in the ocean and I've not dried off yet.
Oh, yeah, that's why I brought the towels. I have 2 kids. I have prepared for this.
Oh, I wasn't meant to say... Oh, yeah. And I definitely didn't sell them to 2 beachgoers while you went to get a corn dog.
Eric, those were a gift.
Yeah, from me that I stole from someone else. That's why you don't have to worry.
Herschel's just silent the rest of the drive.
Yeah.
There's just the drip, drip, drip of Eric's hair as it dries off.
Yeah.
And it is summertime, so everyone else is warm, so the AC is on, and you're getting a little chilly because...
Eric's like, can we, just reaches over to turn the AC down, and Herschel just slaps his hand.
Yeah, Timmy Joe is still wearing a little jacket, and Zelda canonically has multiple sweaters on. We need this AC.
I'm a little overheated.
As you guys are driving, I don't know, I suppose you would have to, by memory, locate the pin that you saw on the screen, because your phone is dead, so if you took a picture, it's now gone.
Yeah, that's fair.
Roll sharp. Someone can help out if you need it.
Okay.
To, piece together, oh, yeah, it was that island, and I know where on the beach it is.
That is an 11.
No help needed. You're used to looking at maps and planning approaches and escape routes from places.
Yep.
And so you were able to pull it up on someone else's navigational app and get down to a beach on Assateague where this woman went missing. Like I said, it is dark, so the beach parking lot is closed. But if someone wants to read a bad situation, you can maybe develop your plan together.
Zelda wouldn't mind doing that after she gets her phone back. Can I have my phone back, Eric?
It's a really nice phone. I quite like
Yeah,
it.
no, there's don't open some of that stuff.
Oh, okay.
No one's ready for this knowledge yet. I'm going to think about this. I'm going to think real hard because we're going to an island at night with something that takes out hearts and doesn't want them. Oh, cool. Okay. So 9, 10, 11.
Awesome.
Nice. Ask 3 questions, I think.
Okay. I think her first one, I think it makes a lot of sense. It's what's the biggest threat? I mean, besides the horses, she's terrified that there's just horses roaming around at night.
And there are.
Oh, no.
You can see like a little herd of them meandering down the beach. You've definitely had to like stop occasionally on your way to this location on the island, as like horses would just be crossing the road in like a big herd.
They can't read signs.
And you just have to wait for them to like get across or like honk at them.
Yeah.
I have always wanted to commit horse theft.
I think it's called rustling.
Ask your other 2 and we'll circle back to that one.
Oh, okay. Okay. So there's a couple things. She's also thinking about getting out of here because knowing that it's night and the island's closed and stuff. So in the back of her mind, as they're going in, she's thinking, what will be the best way out? Say we have to get out quick, very quick, like Eric does something, or a monster, or both.
Yep.
Steal some horses.
Look, I'm just saying, if we steal a horse and a boat, I can knock that off my bucket list.
She holds her phone harder and like away from him. Sure.
There's 2 roads that go onto the island over a series of bridges, and it's just a sandy like beach road, and it does go the whole length of the island. But that's it. It's just the 2 ends, and that's how you would get off the island entirely, I guess.
Right.
And as far as like other roads, there's not a lot of offshoots. It's just sort of the one road that goes the length of the island, so that you can drive through it as a tourist stop, or like get out and take a hike somewhere.
But they're like roads. They're not like raised bridges or anything. Like the roads will stay roads.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So that's her main, like, she's like, I don't want to be stuck on this island. I don't want to be stuck on this. Okay. And then, all right. So I think her third, she's thinking, what's the best way to protect the victims in that she would like none of them to become victims?
Okay.
If that it can be used for that, because she knows like there's already victims who are dead.
Yeah. Definitely. You're thinking back on the earlier portion of your day and how you all split up and how maybe it went okay for some of your group, but it certainly didn't go well for you and Tammy Joe. And so you think splitting up might not be the best idea in this situation. Probably the best way to protect each other would be to stay with each other and not wander off too far on your own.
Okay, yes.
Are you just going to park illegally in like the closed parking lot? Like there's all the lights are turned off. There's no one at the ticket station.
Yeah.
Is there like a parking space that's like a little bit more camouflage behind some bushes that we can kind of...
You could maybe like park under the shade of some beach plum trees or like, you know, something like that, and then make your way up onto the dunes. And again, there's these like wild horses just sort of either walking or like laying down and sleeping on the beach here. And Zelda, to answer your question, what's the biggest threat? You're just scanning the shore, and then one of these horses stands out to you as odd.
Suspicious.
It's a horse head, but a person's body, just strolling amongst the other horses and sort of like scanning the waters.
Oh, Jack.
I think who would be standing closest to her right now?
I can, yeah.
She doesn't say anything. She just tugs. She just tugs on Herschel's.
Yeah.
And then she'll like point over.
Is that a reverse centaur?
I don't think you're taking this the way it needs to be. This is not good. Okay. She'll like get everybody, and she'll do a thing where she wants like to kind of turns their heads. Like she's trying to be real quiet.
It's kind of like that Jurassic Park scene.
Yeah, exactly that.
No, I don't think it's a reverse centaur because he doesn't have horse forelimbs. Because he'd have to have like a horse torso, but then human legs. That's a horrifying image, Herschel. Do you want to make a cheap horror movie together?
You know what? I think I could trust you in that venture.
I mean, I definitely won't cut corners. But back on topic at hand, what about it, Zelda, as a horse person?
A horseman, if you will.
Okay, you're right. I guess I'm the expert in this.
You see this horse person is like walking out amongst the waves, almost T-pose, like their arms extended, just like walking out there.
Yeah, this is the thing. She'll go through like her notebook. This is all. It's a thing. It's a thing.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to be very specific. It's a bad thing.
Is the horse person, like, do they have clothes on?
It doesn't look like they do.
Okay, that's just context I needed for me. Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, that sounds really bad. No, I just...
Yeah, out of context, that sounds quite bad.
Tammy Jo, what was the deal that Tammy Jo did to become monstrous?
That has not really been revealed.
Is there a flavor, though, that you could talk about?
Yes, there is someone that Tammy Jo talks to in her head, and we have seen this being give her instructions.
Orders.
Tammy prefers to think of them as instructions. You know, she likes to pretend she has more of a choice in this than she does. And the other thing that we have seen is that when her monstrous side and her magic sort of lose control a little bit, she changes visibly. She's still sort of humanoid, but her face lengthens and her smile gets much, much too wide, and her eyes sparkle green, and her hands start to elongate into claws. So that is what we have seen so far.
So to answer your question, it's the leprechaun from the Leprechaun movies. That's who our boss is. Yeah. That's my headcanon, at least.
Yes.
Does it have a particular voice?
Yeah, he tends to talk like this. A little bit of that higher southern.
Sure. Why don't you investigate a mystery, Tammy Jo?
Tammy Jo is not very good at that. Not terrible. That is an 8.
Cool.
So, one question, huh? I think, what was it going to do? We're seeing this creature not only looking very mysterious, but walking out into the waves, which is a fairly bizarre course of action.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you can see what it's doing. It stands there. There's sort of this, like, braying call that it lets out.
Ooh.
And then a few of the horses from this herd that are just milling about either get up or wander over, and they also walk out into the water and start to, like, circle around this being.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And you all probably have to get a little closer to, like, see what is happening there.
How far away from us is this creature?
We said you were all up on, like, the dunes of, like, the parking lot. So, like, this is down the beach in the water itself. Maybe 20 yards, 50 yards, but I don't know distance.
Okay.
Beach distance. It's a beach away.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
It's not within arm's reach. That's the important question that you
Yes.
need to
Yes.
answer. Yes. Can it hurt us from this distance? Not to your knowledge. Whew.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry, I'll check it out.
Yeah, you do that, Herschel.
No,
And
no.
he's pushing Herschel.
No, we gotta stay together. We have to. No, this is.
Herschel's already gone.
It's fine. Herschel is not trained, so we're not losing anything if he does get eaten. But I agree with you, Zelda. That's fucking creepy. That's like a horse cult over there.
Ah.
Equestrian Secret Society.
Herschel, you're headed down the water or headed down the beach to get a closer look at this. Do you have, like, a camera with you? Do you have binoculars?
I don't. I have a pocket knife with a multi-tool, but I mean, I don't think that would help.
More importantly, I suppose, do you have a plan?
No, I'm just, what could go wrong?
He's got a dream, and that's all that matters.
Cool. You wander down the beach, and you see these equine figures sort of circling the one with the horse head and the human body. And as they, like, catch the light of the moon or, like, a lamp light from up by the parking lot, you see that they are slick and slightly slimy looking, like not the wet coat of a horse, but more slippery and almost textured in a way, like they're made of many things overlapping. The horse figure is just running a hand along each of the horses as they swim by. And they do swim very gracefully. They're just sort of gliding through the water, not the way a horse would actually swim. Because a horse is normally, like, up to their head as they just, like, paddle their little legs. Their, like, top body is sort of just gliding through the water.
Can Herschel get out his phone and just, like, start recording this?
Sure.
I think he'll record like, a good 30 seconds of this or something, and then just send it to the group chat.
I'm going to have you act under pressure to remain undetected.
Okay.
But everyone else, you get this video and you can see again that like strange texture to the horse creatures as they're swimming in the water.
Would you consider this immediate danger?
Probably.
Okay, because I have a move called What Could Go Wrong. One of the things I can do is use a hold to take 2 forward on act under pressure rolls. So
Sure.
this will give me a +3. That is a 12.
Yeah, you're just sort of being very quiet, maybe not even hiding yourself, but just being very still.
Yeah, I think he walked until like he got into like a dune like close enough, and then he just got down and soldier crawled.
The noise of the waves is certainly enough to muffle a lot of softer sounds like footsteps in sand. So
Oh yeah.
you all get this video.
Zelda, let me see. Share your phone.
Oh,
Let me see.
She doesn't let go of it. She shows it to you.
Oh, okay.
It's like tethered to her wrist.
I don't have burners. This is it. I cannot afford a new one.
Yeah, but I could just steal you one. I mean, legally purchase one.
No, this is I have stuff on here.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, that's some weird, freaky horse shit.
Zelda or Tammy Jo, if you want to investigate again, now that you've got a closer look at these things.
Do you want me to try?
Yeah, Zelda, I think that makes sense. I am just entranced by how these are swimming on the surface of the water like beautiful equine ducks.
Don't fall for it, Tammy Jo. It's all a ruse. I'm telling you.
I want to pet one.
Oh.
Oh no. Tammy's a horse girl. That's a 9.
Okay. One hold.
I mean, I guess what sort of creature is it? It's right there. Would she have a better idea now that she's seen them in motion and she's been thinking on this?
Yeah, and you also had been already on the lookout for aquatic, monster types.
Yeah.
And so you're now able to like put together like, oh yes, of course. These are Kelpie.
Yes.
That's what I thought.
But more troubling is the figure in the center, which you're thinking like, well, Kelpie are shapeshifters, so sometimes they can maybe appear human if they really try, but normally they just look like horses and people climb on them and then they drown them. Of course they would be hanging out here where there's wild horses and tourists are going to want to go up and pet them, right? What a perfect hunting ground.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She's like, of course. She's kind of whispering this under. I mean, of course, I do the same thing. I mean, that makes sense.
But the horse-headed figure is odd. And also you realize that like, wait, Kelpie are normally freshwater creatures. What are they doing out here on like the ocean? And that's when you put together that the creature in the sea with the horse head and the human body is an akushka,
Double yes.
sort of a oceanic-based Kelpie cousin, and known to be especially more dangerous and just a far greater danger than Kelpies because it possesses a more humanoid sort of intelligence, whereas Kelpies are much more just bestial. They sort of...
More calculating.
Yeah, there's intent behind the plots of an akushka.
Yeah.
You figure, well, there's someone who might murder tourists in a pattern, like we've been seeing. Tammy Jo, you just hear a little whisper in your mind that says, oh my, well, it would seem Leviathan's really sent her forces up to the coast. I'll bet something's caught her attention.
So it's no one riding the horses.
Tammy Jo isn't speaking out loud when she does this, but it's clear, it's clear to anybody nearby. She has sort of a distracted look, like she is engaged elsewhere. Something caught his attention that maybe we should be paying attention to as well? Is that what you're suggesting here?
I just find it curious that Leviathan would have her forces so openly out and raiding the coastline of random tourists. That's just very interesting. I bet there's a cause, but more importantly, trouble in the ocean, I would say.
Well, trouble in the ocean might mean trouble for Jupiter Hollow. And that is certainly the last thing I want, and I know the last thing you want as well. We got stuff to do. All right, well, we'll see what we can figure out. I'll let you know. Bye.
Oh, I'm not going anywhere. I want to see this.
Jimmy Joe says out loud under her breath, "You know I hate it when you look through me. It's so invasive."
I do like the idea that like Tammy Joe's patron is like that old relative who you do like talking to and you want to support, but then they go on a little bit too long and you're like, oh, I've got to get going. I really have to get going though. I do remember that time.
Herschel, you feel a presence nearby, and if you turn away from your phone in the sand, you see one of these wild horses just sort of like plodded up and is like sniffing at you.
Oh yeah, he's definitely gonna start petting it. It's a horse.
Its little like blonde tawny mane and its brown coat with like a couple white spots on its four legs, and it does the thing horses do where their like lips like nip at your like jacket collar or sleeve, you know, as whatever.
Yeah, they're I think it's called crimping.
Yeah.
Aww.
I think Herschel is going to pull out a granola bar that he packed out of his... I'm going to say now he's got a fanny pack.
I love it.
And I think he's going to open it up and offer it to the horse.
The whole fanny pack or the granola bar?
No, the granola bar.
Oh no, my phone.
That's when the horse goes, thank you. And you go, oh no.
You're offering this horse the little snack, but it doesn't seem interested. It just kind of keeps like looking at you. And then as you're petting it, your hand just gets like stuck.
Uh-oh.
And you try to like pull it away, but you feel like you're tangled in the horse's mane, except that the mane is wet now and slimy. Cloud passes by the moon, and this horse's entire form sort of ripples and changes, and your hand is wrapped in long tendrils of seaweed and just starts to like pull you in to like this horse form. And you can see now it is all made of seaweed with like bits of bone or muscle sort of creeping in certain areas, but mostly seaweed, creating this horse form and just these like red eyes staring directly at you as it peels back these seaweed lips, and there are jagged teeth in like a smile that shouldn't exist on a horse because it shouldn't have the ability to open cheeks that far back.
And that's when the three of us left.
Oh god.
Yeah, I think Herschel is gonna exercise his Second Amendment right.
Okay.
Draw his pistol and kick some ass. That is a 7.
That's a trait of harm. You're able to, or you shoot your gun into this horse creature. You see that it kind of just flies out the back, and like some of the seaweed is like blown open, but it doesn't seem to affect the creature's like ambulation at all as it starts to like drag you down the beach. Again, your hand stuck in its mane, and like the seaweed is continuing to creep up your arm. It's like reaching towards your elbow at this point, almost like you're being like absorbed into it.
Okay.
What do we see?
You see Herschel seemingly gripping onto a horse as it trots down towards the water.
That motherfucker. He's gonna steal a horse before I get to steal a horse. And then Eric would like to use magic to trap Herschel because he can't steal a horse if he can't go anywhere.
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
Spite magic. Yes, it's the best kind of magic.
I just love Eric's pettiness.
Okay, well, yeah. Remember, though, he's terrible at magic.
I was gonna say, are you gonna use your grimoire?
Oh, he always uses the grimoire. He's pulled it out. It's soaking. It's very angry with him, but he's opened it. And he does that thing that I hate when you fold the pages of a book to remember.
Dog ear it, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a 7.
Okay, then you're gonna have to pick a glitch.
Oh no.
That's better than most. I do like the idea that Eric does that and then immediately, like, there's a backlash and he just flies backwards a little bit from the dune and takes one harm, just like, ah! And that's the book pissed off with him for getting it wet.
Sure, okay. Does Eric have a minus weird?
He has a -1, but the book gives him a +1 forward when he uses magic.
To sort of negate that. Okay.
Yeah, so it's a 0.
And is this a book that he like found and stole, or it's like an
Yep.
heirloom, or?
He stole it, yep. He actually has found in quotation marks.
Okay, cool.
It's his artifact.
So then, yeah, you cast this trap spell on your friend Herschel. Herschel, you feel your feet suddenly dig into the sand, and then the sand sort of reach up and grab your legs as the Kelpie continues to like pull at you. The seaweed stretches from its body, and then it circles back and it like creeps back into the body of the horse form, and it just starts to like tug at you, almost like a reverse of a stubborn horse where you're the thing that won't move. And of course, the grimoire, in protest at being dunked in the ocean earlier in the day, all of the water in the book suddenly becomes this torrent that just like smacks you in the face, Eric, and you go on your ass in the pavement of the parking lot.
Yep,
I love that.
yep, that's perfect. That's amazing. I love it.
But yeah, you all now see this like tug of war happening between Herschel and this horse.
What the hell is Herschel doing?
Don't let him steal the horse.
Well, it doesn't look like he's going to.
Zelda would be whenever she can do investigative mystery again, because she really wants to know what can hurt these things. She's like, the gun didn't seem to do anything. We should probably know this sooner rather than later. What do I remember?
Sure. Okay.
10.
All right. That's 2 questions.
She's trying to remember anything she has studied before that would be like, what can you do against these things?
You think back, you try to remember things you know about Kelpies. You know that they are a type of demon construct. They appear and are made of this like, not sentient, but like living ambulatory seaweed that just for some reason takes the look of horses most often. And that being of demonic origin, fire can hurt them, extreme cold can hurt them, silver metals, chalk runes and circles are able to like bind and contain them. Sometimes iron bands. There's plenty of things that will hurt a Kelpie.
Oh, okay, because I can't find garlic again.
Not here on the beach.
No.
Haven't heard of sand garlic before.
I mean, I'm going to start carrying garlic anyway, just in general. And when she starts processing it out loud, she'll say it out loud.
Mm-hmm.
Look at all these choices we have. This is fantastic, right? Oh, hey, you know what another good thing to know would be? What was it going to do to Herschel? What was it going to do? I don't think it was going to hug him.
You can still see as he's fighting, the Kelpie has like stopped struggling so much to like pull him from the sand and just is standing there, seaweed tendrils sort of whipping in the air and like wriggling. You see some of them shoot out to grab Herschel in different places and start to wrap around him on his leg, on his other hand. The one on your arm, Herschel, is now creeping up past your elbow towards your shoulder and just encasing you in this seaweed.
Okay. Can I do something about that?
You can try. What would you like to attempt?
I have a pocket knife and I would just like to cut myself free.
That would be act under pressure, I think.
Okay. Then I'm going to use my other hold to give this a +2.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So that makes it a 10.
Okay. Yeah, you start to cut at these seaweed lashings to try and free yourself. But this Kelpie is like there, so you're going to have to try and outrun a horse if you're able to get yourself free entirely.
Well, I was going to ask, can I outrun? Because I'm trapped.
Yeah, you're also stuck in the sand. So you're able to cut yourself free as it continues to like lash out with more of this like kelp tendrils to keep yourself from like getting smothered or choked or anything, but you are stuck in the sand.
I like to imagine that this Kelpie is doing the equivalent of when, like, you know, when you go to make a sandwich and like you almost drop it and you're like, like you drop it and some of the filling comes out. That's what the Kelpie is experiencing right now. Like, oh, come on, I just wanted a snack. And now, and he's stuck and he's cutting me. Oh, for fuck's sake.
It's like when you have a handful of cherry tomatoes and you're like, I can hang on to all these while I cut them in half, but you're always going to drop 1 or 2 of them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like detrimental to your life. You're just like, fuck's sake.
Yeah. Now there's dirt on it.
Yeah, exactly.
This is when Zelda's like, we have to go save Herschel.
Well, obviously.
He's in danger?
I feel like we stayed back too long, and she'll start walking And she'll get a determined look on her face. And she's like, fire, ice, cold iron. She just keeps repeating like...
Yeah. Tammy Jo, could you read a bad situation?
Oh, I would love to. Yeah, Tammy Jo is going to start jogging after Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
She is wearing espadrilles, so it is not great on the sand.
Yep.
Eric's tactically holding the rear, so he'll hang back and make sure nothing sneaks up on us.
Perfect. Thank you, Eric. That is an 8 on Rate a Bad Situation.
Okay.
I think I'm actually going to ask what is most vulnerable to me, because obviously the immediate threat is this thing is attacking Herschel, but Zelda has shared with us, at least I assume has shared with us by now, that this other monster is perhaps more dangerous. So Tammy Jo is going to have to make a choice about who to turn her attention to here.
Yeah.
Zelda's figure stuff out loud all the time. Like when she knows a thing, you all know about it because she's like, okay, and then there's this thing, and it's like a Kelpie, but it's like a different, they're cousins. Her string board is also how her brain works.
Oh, beautiful. Horse cousins.
No, Tammy, no, bad horses.
I think, Tammy, you see that the Akushka is in the water, and the Kelpie that were surrounding it, they've all dove beneath the waves. And you see there's a bunch of splashing happening a little ways offshore. It's tough to see because it starts to get dark on the water really quickly. But I will say you hear sort of a melodic sound coming from far off in the water. And occasionally that will happen, and it's followed quickly after by like some bright flashes of light under the water.
I'm calling it now. It's Jessie.
Tammy Jo would like a closer look at what is happening over there. She is going to try to use magic to see another place being where this splashing and flashing is happening.
Sure.
So she is gonna roll some magic here. And as she does, her friends, if they are paying attention, see her eyes glow green in the dark. And she just sort of whispers a little bit, "Come on, water. Just show me what's under there." That is a 9.
Okay, so you get a glitch.
Glitch. Let's do short duration. I think she just gets a glimpse.
Okay. Tammy Jo, your magic, your eye takes on, like you said, that like seafoam green coloration for a moment, and you can peer through the water despite the time of day and despite the depth at which this is happening. And you see many of these kelpie horse creatures. They have the silhouette of the horses, but then there's like those trailing seaweed tendrils coming off of them, and like the pulled back lips that sort of reveal the entirety of a horse's jaw structure, except all the teeth are sharp and not the molars that horses would have. And they are darting around in the water almost like seals, and again you hear that appearing in sort of a swirl of water, and snaking out of it is a large sea serpent creature.
Jessie.
Eel-like, but also sea snake in its appearance. These large slitted eyes and different fins along its body and smooth scales. And gripping onto one of the fins, you see a human figure? 2 human figures?
Oh no.
Just silhouetted by this white glow coming off a strange angular shape that one of these human figures is holding. And as Chessie sort of rakes through the water, her big jaw opening up and biting at the kelpies and sort of shaking them about, trying to shred them, you see the human figure holding the like large light source, throws it through the water. It cuts through a kelpie or 2 and then returns to their hand. And you see the other human figure on the other side of Chessie's back seems to be firing some sort of white projectiles at the kelpies. They'll get hit and incinerate into ash under the water. You get a very brief glimpse of this as Chessie and these 2 people are being swarmed by the kelpie herd.
There's a lot going on here. I think that's what Tammy says. She just yells out, friends, there's a lot going on here. There's a whole other creature under there and a couple of people and some flashes of light. And, looks to me like there's another monster. I'm going this way. And she jogs off down the beach closer to where this splashing is happening.
Okay.
Y'all got Herschel okay, right?
Take notes, Tammy.
I'll tell you all about it.
Okay, thank you.
All right. What are other people doing?
Zelda's still walking, like, with determination, heading towards Herschel.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to try to help him before everything else, because that's what you have to do. You help people first. And she's saying this out loud. You help people first, okay? And then you take out the monsters, okay? There's always a list, and you got to follow it.
Sure. So yeah, you approach Herschel as he's frantically trying to cut himself free from the Kelpie's seaweed strands, but also maybe trying to like kick his legs free of the sand where he's been trapped.
Yeah. We're going to have a talk about that.
Herschel looks less worried and just like grumpy about something. They say, Herschel, I'm going to try to help you, okay?
Yeah, thank you. Help would be nice.
She'll turn back to see if Eric's coming.
No. Still in the dunes.
No.
Why am I not surprised?
Okay, I don't want to get in between this, between you two. I'll do this and then you can deal with that. And she tries to think if she has any fire or ice or any sort of, she's like, oh no. Okay, I'm going to try something. She's been trying basic magic, having been watching Tammy. And she knows she's caused fire before. So she's going to try to use magic just to aim as much as she can make. She's not sure yet. She's really very new at this, towards this Kelpie that is trying to engulf Herschel, like towards his chest or head, away from Herschel. She's being very specific about this. This fire is going away from Herschel the best she can do it.
Roll your magic. Let's see how it goes.
She's like, don't worry, Herschel. I did this once before. It worked fine. I also did catch on fire, but that was partly Eric's. Okay, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We got this. Okay, it's 7.
It has a glitch, but, you know, magic happens.
That's okay. It's going to just be glitchy for a while. I mean, I think short duration's okay.
Sure.
Because it's weaker. She's still she can't make a big fire yet.
Mm-hmm. Is this doing any harm?
Oh, if it can. She's she's just trying to do whatever she can do to this Kelpie.
Yeah, what magic effect are you taking from the use magic list of things?
Oh, you're right. Okay, good idea. Yeah, let's just go classic. Let's just go harm.
Okay. You shoot fire at this Kelpie, which instantly burns away the seaweed. Despite it being wet, it's weird. The Kelpie's face is covered in this incinerary magic that you shoot forth. And it rears back and sort of like stumbles into the sand like a horse trying to get its footing.
Hey, Herschel, are you still stuck? What's happening?
Is Herschel still stuck?
I would think at this point probably the magic has ended.
Yeah, I don't think Eric's maintained it for very long. I think as soon as he sees the pair of them go down, it's like they'll sort it out and he cancels it.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird because everything I know about these like Kelpies and stuff, I don't see sand powers, and yet it looks like the sand was trying to get you. Something else is happening, Herschel. I haven't figured it out yet.
Oh, I have a pretty good idea.
Oh, is it sand monsters?
And Herschel just cocks his gun.
Oh boy.
Those sand monsters are in trouble.
Yeah. He's gonna shoot at the Kelpie. That is an 8.
You shoot at this thing. Again, its face is on fire. Zelda, you notice this as it is going to make its retaliatory harm against Herschel as it starts to run away. The horse front half of this creature is sort of burned away by your fire magic. And where a horse's neck would begin, there is the emaciated, undead form of a person who looks like they were drowned. Their hair is stringy and has the seaweed tangled up into it. And you can just see peeking below the collarbone where a heart would have been.
She's going to look for that.
Yeah, but still the rest of the horse body then continues down. And so this thing just is going to run by and basically trample you, Herschel. Stomp you with its hooves as it flees. And you can see as it's running away, the seaweed is starting to slowly creep back up over this human remain at the core of the Kelpie's body to reform the horse face.
Oh, that's horrifying.
Okay, how much harm do I take?
You would probably take 2 harm from being run over by a horse,
Okay.
but you're at least not attached to the thing anymore as it runs towards the water. Maybe to try and like submerge its kelp body in that to keep it rehydrating and reforming.
Zelda would help Herschel up, and she's like, I'm kind of scared of horses anyway. I do not like these things. There are people inside them that are also dead. So there's like zombies piloting horse puppets.
Zombie piloting horse mechs. That's a new one.
Ah! Don't say it like that. We gotta stop this, Herschel. This is bad.
Yeah, sure thing.
Eric, you see from your vantage point the fire go off, a gunshot happen again, and then this like semi-headless horse like run away towards the water.
Okay, things have escalated. What's your exit strategy? Well, Herschel has the keys to the car. Yeah, I kind of do need Herschel to drive me back because I can't hitchhike again.
Just figuring out how to abandon everyone.
Oh, but I need the Wardwell alive. And I need Herschel to drive. Tammy's an accessory, but they'll be upset if Tammy dies, so we'll need to save Tammy. Fuck. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna shoot the horseman.
You're gonna shoot at the Akushka.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
He's got a pistol.
Roll kick some ass.
Yep. He's gonna make sure he put bullets in it this time. Oh. So that's a 5.
Oh no.
So he's just blatantly shooting on the beach.
Yep. You just fire a gun off. It completely misses the Akushka.
He shouts, I'm helping!
Just roll 1d6, and if it's even, we'll have one thing happen. If it's odd, I'm gonna say another thing happens.
Perfect. I love things. That's a 6, so it's even.
So you completely miss the Akushka, and how much harm does your gun do?
I think 2, but I'll have to double check. Yes, it does 2 harm.
So Herschel, you're standing up and getting to your feet, and you feel a bullet rip through your arm.
No! I'm helping!
Oh no, the Kelpies are armed. Oh no.
Now, that would technically make Herschel unstable, but again, resilience, you will not be treated as if you are unstable. You just get shot by your boss, who you know is a terrible shot, especially in the dark.
Is this or is this not the first time that Herschel has been shot by Eric?
There's no way it's the first time.
No.
There's no
way. No way.
Just checking.
I think Herschel's gonna yell to Eric, hey, why don't you help the horse people?
That's an option?
He's like, oh, I know what this bullet is. Yep. Yeah.
That was not intentional because it didn't quite do a lot of damage, but
Yeah.
Hey, that's handy. It just knocked out the other bullet that was there from the last time Eric shot me.
Eric is hiding behind the dune, just holding the gun above his head, shooting blindly.
not even looking.
oh God, it's this. Herschel just has to say, I know that wasn't intentional because you hit me.
Tammy Joe, you are running towards the water.
I am. Oh boy. Let me know if this can work. I think she doesn't know. She has no idea who the hell these people are or what they are doing, except that she can probably tell it is magical in some way, or at least the beams of energy or light are magical, probably.
Yep.
Or a laser. Could be an underwater laser. She doesn't know if that's a thing. And this other underwater creature could be a threat, but it is very unclear right now. And for sure, the Kelpies are a threat.
Well, you know for sure the Kelpies are a threat,
Yeah.
and this underwater creature is attacking the Kelpies. There is some hostility there between these two monsters.
Yes. And Tammy Jo is nothing if not a devotee of the philosophy, the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Mm-hmm.
So she is going to try to do what she can to help this creature. One of the use magic options is bar a place or portal to a specific person or type of creature. Usually I would use that to mean like a house or a room or something.
Mm-hmm.
Can she bar the Kelpies from a small space around this sea serpent and people, like a sphere that blossoms out from them to push the kelpies away from them.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Roll use magic.
7 + 3 is 10. Yeah, and I think she just looks out. Yeah, her eyes glow green again, and she again is like, just give him some space. Give him some space a little bit.
Oh, this is so fun. So you put your hand into the water and say, like, leave that other creature alone. And the kelpies in the water just start to, like, writhe and act as if something is causing them extreme pain as this green glow extends from your hand out into the water and just starts to, like, cover the entire shoreline with this green, almost like the bioluminescent algae. I think it's in Mexico where they have the pools where, like, if you touch the water, it, like, sends this, like, wave of light out.
Yeah.
So you do this, and the kelpies all start to flee from just the water itself, shaking themselves free of it. And even the Akushka crouches down and then leaps out of the water on these, like, superhumanly strong pair of legs. You get a closer look, Zelda. This Akushka has, like I said, the upper torso of, like, a guy, but then the lower legs are like draft horse with, like, huge hooves. Yeah, all the kelpies are like regathering on the shoreline away from the water. You just hear a chuckle. Hostile acquisition. Wow. The Lady of the Waves won't like that, but I like your style.
Thank you. That's very kind of you.
The Akushka looks over at you, Tammy Joe.
I recognize that magic. A servant of Mammon? How dare ye bar the way to the sea from us? My ladies put me here for a purpose, and I will not be turned away.
I think Tammy, she's not easy to intimidate. And I think she sort of turns and gathers her wits a little bit and just kind of squares up to the Akushka and puts her hands on her hips and says, well, I don't know who you are and who your lady is, but I am here for a purpose as well, and my purpose is to stop whatever the hell is going on here with these hearts getting removed from innocent tourists. If you want to tell me a little bit more about your purpose, we can talk about it, but right now, you are not making a very good case for yourself.
Stands, rising to his full, like, 8-foot height, huge, like, Dorito-shaped body, gestures at you and says,
Will not suffer interlopers. The sea is her domain.
and you see all the kelpies start to pad up behind him, and his pointing at you turns into a snap, and a stampede of kelpies start to rush at you, Tammy Joe.
Oh boy.
What is everyone else doing?
Oh boy. This is okay.
Hey, would now be like a good time to read a bad situation?
If you wanna, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I'm not investigating anything at this point. It's pretty bad.
It's not great.
Definitely bad.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're my favorite dice. Okay. That's 11.
Okay. What questions or actions are you looking to do here?
Oh, God. Okay. Hey, I guess the first thing would be, what's the best way to protect the victim, aka Tammy?
Well, do you have a way to stop a stampede?
Oh, no. Yeah, that'd be a really good one, the way to do it. No.
So, barring that, probably fleeing somehow would be a good idea.
Okay, that's good. She has another one. She wants to know, are there any dangers we haven't noticed? If we run, I don't want to run into something else that has happened before.
Yeah, so the danger you haven't noticed, but that Tammy Joe did notice with her magical glimpse into the waves, there is that sound that like, and in like the very shallow water of the waves, a whirlpool forms near you, Tammy Joe, and rising out of the water, impossibly, because there's not enough water here to contain its form, is the head of this massive sea snake that has the two people on it. They're both soaking wet because they've been fighting underwater. But you see a tall guy with a bit of stubble and blonde, sandy hair, in a dark suit with a sort of tan overcoat on top of it. He's holding a large black revolver. And a woman gripping the other side of this massive sea beast. She has stark white hair, very pale white skin, and what looks like maybe smoky eye makeup that's been rutting because of being underwater, and like a dark lipstick on.
Yep.
Also in a fitted dark suit. And she's carrying this massive 6-foot sword that is about 10 inches wide, and she just like is holding it in the one hand despite being like much smaller than you would think she'd need to be to carry this thing.
Okay.
The gentleman sees the stampede coming and says, "Lady, I know this is gonna sound cliche, but come with us if you want to live." Zelda, you overhear this because he's shouting it as the sound of stampeding horse hooves.
Tammy, take the offer! I can't stop a stampede! I had a good think about it, and I can!
Tammy Joe, he yells back, "One step ahead of you, honey!" And she's splashing through the water very awkwardly towards the sea serpent.
The tall man holsters that black gun and offers a hand to like grab onto you, Tammy Joe. As soon as you clasp it, the sea serpent, you hear it makes that same and forms a second whirlpool again beside where it is. And the sea snake just travels from the one water portal into another one. And as its little finned tail flickers through, the water vanishes as the kelpies stampede by, splashing in the waves, trying to get at you. But you're gone.
The sea took Tammy.
The rest of you are left seeing your friend vanish with these two strangers and a sea monster, and there is a stampede of kelpies still on the beach. Let's take a break so you guys can think about what you're gonna do.
Run. Eric's been running the past hour.
Yeah, Eric's been gone.
Incredible.
Hello, adventurers. Thanks for joining us for the finale of our first crossover series. It's been a huge learning experience for me, and I'm so grateful for all the friends we've made by doing this experiment in podcast storytelling. And we're super grateful for all of you for trusting us with this temporary deviation from our regular story. I promise the hunters from Autumn Falls will be back in the new year with the next arc of their story, which I hope you're all eagerly excited for. But before I get too ahead of myself, let's get through this mid-reel. Hey, Nye, thanks for joining me.
Yeah, hey, it's good to be here.
Eric may have run away screaming after that first half, but I'm really glad you could come back and record this one with me.
Yeah, I was screaming in the other direction. I just ended up in here in the recording booth. Exactly.
Shall we run the latest promo for any adventurers who haven't checked out the new season of your show?
Yeah, let's do it. It'll be awesome.
Grab some popcorn and find your seats. Monster of the Week Actual Play Podcast $2 Creature Feature returns for Season 2 on February 22nd. This season, we'll see a whole new crew of hunters confronting the mysteries at the heart of the town of Jupiter Hollow.
I'm Megan Murphy. I'm playing Zelda Wardwell, the Flake. Oh, wait, I'm supposed to protect people too. That's like what heroes do.
I'm Nyelder, playing Eric Ashrin, the Crooked. Let's just say I don't ask questions that involve textbooks. I ask questions that involve cash.
I'm Laura McMillan, and I'm playing Tammy Jo Marple, your hometown home finder. I'm here to make deals with the good people of Jupiter Hollow, but I already made a deal of my own. Tammy Jo is the monstrous.
And I'm Mr. Ray. I play everything that tries to kill these people. And if you enjoyed our first season, you ain't seen nothing yet.
New episodes every other Tuesday wherever podcasts are found.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get our show.
I always think that promo is over, and then we get that haunting, corrupted version of the movie Snacks music.
Oh, yeah, I love it. It's great.
Chilling. Truly chilling.
Yeah.
I'm already put off a little bit by old-timey cartoon style as it is, so... Nye, where can people find you and the $2 Creature Features crew online?
They can find us on Twitter at 2, the number 2, and then the word dollar, and then the word creature, all in the @ And you can also find us on all your podcasting sites. So Spotify's a good place for leaving comments and stuff like that. And it's $2 creature feature across all channels. That was flawless.
Perfect. One take.
Exactly.
All those links will be in the episode show notes. If you're a fan of $2 Creature Feature and you're joining us here on the Storyteller Squad for the first time, welcome, and thanks for checking us out. We'd love it if you decide to stick around and listen to our main campaign. You can join our team of hunters and their adventure full of magical creatures and cryptids. Whenever I've described our main campaign lately, I've called us the 10 hours lo-fi and chill mix for autumnal lesbians and cottagecore cryptids of actual play podcasts, which is a mouthful, but it's accurate and everyone seems to agree with the assessment. You can find myself and the squad on Twitter @StorySquadCast. And we're also in the Podcast Nexus Discord server, the server formerly known as Cast Junkie. They're remodeling over there. It's a whole thing. But you can chat with the squad, plus the folks from $2 Creature Feature, the other podcasts who helped us produce this series, and plenty more.
Yeah, that is a good place to find us. And check everyone else that was on the crossover. I was listening to some of it, and it was really awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's really cool.
Word of mouth is the best way to get us in front of your friends' ears and attentions, but reviews help the algorithm do that for us. And as much as we might have feelings about algorithms, if they can help us out, then I suppose that's a good thing.
Yeah, the robots rule it all, so.
Eventually, yep.
Yes.
And that's all. It's time to send you all back into the action and wrap up this crossover series at last. I hope we'll see you again for another episode, whether it's our main storyline or maybe the next time I manage to weave my friends' stories together into something exciting and fun. Probably unsurprisingly, I've already got ideas. Take care, adventurers.
Bye-bye.
So, Tammy Joe vanishes into the portal with the sea creature and the two strangers, and the Kelpie stampede goes past, attempting to trample her, but then begins to curve around and maybe return to the other figures on the beach. Herschel, Zelda, and Eric, what are you guys doing?
Eric's running. Eric was up at the dune.
To the Honda?
Yeah, oh yeah, totally. Eric's got a head start. He's going to use it.
Yep, definitely. We need to go. We need to hop in the car.
Okay, this is a good idea. I didn't know Tammy could do that. And she's running. You see, Tammy called a water god to save her.
Yeah.
Herschel, I'm a little scared of Tammy. I'm going to be honest.
I'm a little annoyed with Tammy right now. I'm going to be honest. I mean, if she could do that the whole time, she should have just led with that instead of, you know what? No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Maybe she'll teach us later. Hey, if we live through this, Tammy will show us how to do that.
I don't want to know how to do that.
Why wouldn't you want to know? Okay, I got to keep going. I want to know all the things.
By the time you get to the car, Eric's already trying to get the lock undone with that coat hanger trick. He's trying to break into your car.
Herschel just hits the doot button.
Cool. Eric gets in the driver's seat. Let's go. Let's get the fuck out of here. Whoa, Herschel, how did you get shot?
You guys are going to act under pressure.
Okay.
Yes, this sounds correct. Oh no.
I got an 8.
I got a 9.
That's good. Maybe you can help Zelda with her 4.
Oh no.
I mean, I could help, but it would be a 6.
If it's not worth it, don't worry.
Well, I will say you all have 1 luck point for this one shot you could burn.
I should probably, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes, get the fuck in the car.
Yeah, okay.
Run.
I think Zelda got she's looking back for Tammy, and I think it's easy for her to stumble with her boots.
Mm-hmm. All right. Burning a luck, a full success. Herschel, are you going to force Eric out of the driver's seat and drive, or?
No, I'm going to let him drive against my better judgment.
Yeah, that's so against your better judgment.
Okay. Eric did have a mix. So did you, Herschel. But if you want to use help out to get Eric to a full success, you could.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
Okay. You technically don't even have to roll because you're doing the power of heart and helping hand combo.
Yeah, I'm going to take the 10.
So you had a 9, Eric?
Yeah.
So you now have an 11.
He's looking at going, where's the stick? There's supposed to be a stick that you pull to pull the parking brake off.
It's not that kind of car. Just go.
Okay, I'm going.
You have to put it in gear first.
Oh, shit.
Ruining the transmission.
Oh, yeah. This car's going to be fucked.
You guys peel out of the parking lot, just bashing right through the like little wooden gate thing for parking, just breaking that off as this stampede of kelp horses chase after you. With your complete success in this act under pressure roll, Zelda, how are you helping your friends and you escape?
Well, first, I feel like she's in the back and she's monitoring the situation in the back. But because she had thought in the beginning, like, what's our best way out? Like, how do we get out? She kind of was mapping in her head, like, if we have to get out of here in the dark, you want to stick to this road. There was that rock there. Don't hit that pothole. Like, she's kind of repeating this out. Okay, in 5 feet, there's like a pothole or something. And she's going to go gently right.
You slam into the wall.
Hard swerve.
The van is a minivan for kids. It must have all the seats in it, right? Or do you take those out for adventuring?
Nope, it's got all the seats.
Okay. So you're just rolling around in like the big wide back seat of this van, looking out the rear windshield. Yeah, you with your like constantly looking at details and like information soaking up brain are able to completely recall the path you took to get here. And so you are able to move through this network of sandy dirt roads quick enough such that there is enough of a gap between you and the Kelpie stampede that eventually they peel off and return towards the shoreline. You also assume that they can't go a certain amount of distance on the land, or they would just dry up and sort of crumble apart.
Okay, I think we're good. Don't turn towards any water, Eric. Go as dry, the most dry direction you can.
Oh, I was going to say Eric leans out, like rolls down the window and leans out, go, yeah, fuck you, seaweed horses.
Shut up, Eric. Shut up, Eric. Why are you doing?
But then very quickly leans back and he goes, that was satisfying. I've always wanted to do that.
You've always wanted to do that.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, on his bucket list, yell at Kelpies.
Yeah.
Herschel, for your mixed success, the worst outcome of you having the 8 means that finally that bullet wound is starting to like cause you some trouble. And you are going to need medical attention because you're starting to feel lightheaded, like you might pass out.
Hey, y'all know magic stuff, right? Is there, like, magic doctory?
Oh, yeah, I can do that. No problem. I've done that myself tons of times.
Okay, you're driving.
Zelda, that's a lie, by the way, that he's telling.
No, Eric. We desperately need you to keep driving.
Yeah, sorry.
Herschel.
Yeah.
This is not going to end well if he tries to fix you.
I figured.
Okay, so already I've done good in this situation. I've prevented you from getting more harm.
Do you want to do some first aid, Zelda?
Yeah.
Okay.
She has not done this yet. Where's her?
Well, I was going to say, if you're using magic to do first aid, you just use magic and then you heal somebody.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
If you want to perform like mundane first aid, I believe that is able to like stabilize someone but not heal them any harm.
I gotcha. Okay. She's going to do this through the Band-Aid she keeps on her person, though. I'm going to need you to work real good on this. And she's about to put it over the bullet hole. Just let's see if this works. Hey, okay. Yeah, that's, so that's an 8 altogether.
An 8. So what glitch are you going to take?
Ooh. Oh, God. Okay.
Draw unwanted immediate attention. That's what we want.
I'm kind of curious about a problematic side effect, because this is the first time she has tried to do magic-flavored healing. I think I have the gist of it. Don't worry, Herschel.
You said that these are Hello Kitty Band-Aids?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So you whisper to the Band-Aid, like, I really need you to do your job, and chant this bandage, which suddenly, like, enlarges and like grows in size to be able to like actually cover and wrap the full bullet wound on Herschel's arm. But at the same time, this sort of like pink sparkly like magic like exudes from it. Herschel, you sprout a pair of white cat ears on the top of your head.
Yay!
And grow like little whiskers out of a button kitty nose that like forms on your face.
That's terrifying.
You are now a cat person.
Okay, Herschel. Okay, I'm going to walk you through this very slow. I have good news and bad news for you.
Holy shit! You're fucked up!
No, shut up! Turn around! Eric, drive!
I think Herschel's gonna touch his cat ears. And then I think he's gonna, like, reach down and touch his normal ears.
Yeah, they don't make sense.
How? What? And then he'll touch his cat face and be like, all right, I'm like 80% mad right now, but Eric, I think we can make money off of this.
Yeah, we can. We could totally make money off this. Do you know how many people, like all the cat boys and stuff on the internet? Like, yeah, we can do this.
I don't go to those websites, but I'll take your word for it.
He's no longer Herschel. He's Pershel.
There we go.
Oh, no.
Oh, that was so perfect.
Oh, that's so good. That's very good.
And we cut away to Tammy Lynn, who is dead for some reason.
I know it's not, but I pray this is permanent.
I do like the idea of cutting over to Tammy Lynn, however.
Sure. Tammy Jo.
Oh, Tammy Jo.
Unless her middle name has been changed as punishment for her crimes.
No, that's just me. Yeah, so Tammy Jo, the last thing you remember is taking the hand of this tall Texan man and leaping into that whirlpool with the sea serpent.
She's had dreams like this.
You feel the temperature of the water is much warmer than you expected to be like diving into the ocean.
Okay.
And also, if you like have your mouth open at all, you get the taste of chlorine.
Oh.
And breaching and surfacing, the sea snake appears in this large pool. Its serpent body just sort of filling up the deep end of the pool. And it leans its head down over the tiled edge, and the two people hop off, and you can join them.
I do so.
And then the sea serpent puts its whole self back under the water.
This pool is set in what looks like the backyard of a very high-end conceptual architectural house with lots of glass windows and walls and very modern aesthetic to it, and a very cultivated and intentional landscaping surrounds this pool. There's lots of mulched gardens with conifer trees and bushes, and everything about this place just screams upscale, very expensive.
Well, hello. I'm Tammy Jo Marple.
The gentleman takes out a badge from his coat pocket. Pleasure to meet you, Miss Marple. My name is Max Spiegel, member of the Eastie Agency organization. That's my partner, Hillary Ross. We're sorry to have taken you out of that situation rather abruptly, but glad you're safe. What were you doing on the beach at night, if I might ask?
Well, you did see all the monsters, did you not?
Yeah, but normally that's our purview, paranormal secret agents.
Oh!
I gather you're a member of the supernatural community, given that you're not freaking out too much about being rescued by a sea serpent.
Oh no, I'm extremely grateful, thank you. I have to say I'm a little taken aback. My friends and I have been, seems, doing your job without pay for a while now.
Well, if you would like to apply for a position at the agency, I can certainly see about sending you over some paperwork, and we'll put you through sort of the required training courses, that sort of thing. That's getting a bit ahead of ourselves. So you must be a local. You're from around here. You're investigating the murders.
I'm not actually. Well, I grew up in Arkansas, but I am lately of Jupiter Hollow. And Tammy Jo is going to pull out from her pocket a very sodden couple of business cards.
Yeah.
which are printed with waterproof ink because she does think ahead about these things, but are probably falling apart, and hand one each.
They're just a little floppy.
Exactly, they're a little floppy. Hands one each to Agent Spiegel and Ross, was it?
That's correct. Yeah, he takes one over. She, if you go to offer one to her, is just like,
No, thank you. I'm good.
and she is focused more on watching the sea serpent as it lazily swims around. Occasionally it will like come up and surface, and she'll like check its scales. You see there's a lot of lash marks and bite marks on this serpent.
Oof.
Some scarred over and healed, but some look like they're fresh. And Ross will like whisper something to the serpent and then get up and go over to some metal cabinets that seem to have like medical supplies in them.
I would be very happy to pick up an application. I myself am very happy in my job. I am a small business owner in Jupiter Hollow, but I do have a couple of friends who might be interested in applying, and I'd be happy to bring the application to them.
There's a rigorous background check, so I don't know if that's an issue for anyone in your crew. I understand this life can sometimes lead you down some somewhat less scrupulous paths. But you kind of caught us in the middle of an active mission. We've been helping Chessie here try and clean up the bay a little bit. There's been a recent surge in demon activity. So, yeah, it turns out we were a little undergunned. No pun intended. He kind of taps the black revolver that he's got holstered on his chest harness. To take on an entire stampede of those things. Who knew they were populated so quickly? Do you know anything about what's going on there, or?
I may know a little bit more. Some of my friends are particularly good at investigating. So good, in fact, you maybe there are things in the background checks you could overlook. I am very happy to tell you what I know. I am concerned about that stampede because, as you saw, my colleagues were left on the beach.
Oh shit! There were more of you. They weren't aware because they were in the water and then appeared to save you and then disappeared. So they had no idea.
Oh, yeah.
Story of my life.
Yeah, well, I would never go to a demon-infested beach by myself. Do you think I'm crazy? Yes, my 3 colleagues were there. Can you send out a search party? Is that a thing you can do?
It's just us. And he gestures at Ross and Chessie. Ross is spraying some sort of disinfectant on the wounds Chessie got fighting the Kelpies.
Oh, Chessie.
Yeah, he says, do they have a phone? I could look them up, try to track them if they have GPS or something like that.
Oh, I don't think they're trackable.
Herschel will be, because Herschel's all above board.
Oh, yeah.
No way Eric or Zelda are.
No, fuck no. Eric has nothing that can identify him. I don't even think he has dental records.
Yeah, Herschel even has that app to where you can spy on where your family members are.
We may have more luck with some of my friends than others. There is one lovely family man. Wouldn't be surprised if he has some kind of know where your kids are now. It's 9:00. Where are your children? You remember those ads? He may have some software like that.
He goes over to an open laptop and just starts typing. He's like, I'll need name. He said he has a phone or something I can look up.
Oh, I'm sure he does. You know what? He owns a local business. Can you look him up based on local operation permits?
I'm not trying to do a background check. I'm just trying to make sure your friends didn't get eaten by those weird seaweed horses.
If Tammy's phone still works, there's the group text.
Yeah, you could try your phone. Does Tammy have a OtterBox or a?
Yeah, her work phone is very precious because she has all her business contacts in that. So she probably does have a pretty high quality case on that one.
Okay.
I hope so bad this is what destroys our chances of survival. Not any of the monsters, just our inability to contact each other. You guys are friends, right? You don't have anyone's number. Well, no.
You were there investigating monsters and you don't have your phones on you? What?
Well, one of them jumped in the ocean this morning. So.
The biggest thing I love about this is it's not even a mechanic in Monster of the Week. It's a barrier we put in for ourselves.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, if you want to try calling Zelda.
So, yeah, she would be in there.
Zelda, as you're confused by the strange cat spell you've somehow cast onto Herschel, your phone rings and it's Tammy Jo's work number calling you.
She's picking up while she's trying to touch the ears. Hey, Tammy, you're alive. That's real good.
You're alive.
Yeah.
Is everyone else also alive?
Holy shit, Herschel, you're a cat.
You hear in the background.
Shh. It's fine, Tammy. Just hand cupped over. Yeah, no, everything's cool and we're alive and nothing weird has happened.
I'm so glad to hear that. There is something weird kind of happening over here. I am here with some secret agents. They seem to be very nice.
Oh my God, Chessie's a secret agent.
Wait,
I gotta write this down. Okay, I didn't even think about this. The monsters are in a club. Okay, all right, now keep talking. I got 2 hands. It's cool. Monsters in some sort of secret. Maybe they were fezzes. Okay, I gotta go by just the facts.
That sounds like more of a cult than a secret club to me.
Oh my God, the monster cult. Okay, no, sorry. That's not for you, Tammy. Okay, this is cool. This is cool. I just gotta write this down.
Agent Mac, like, overhearing the one side of the conversation. Are your friends in a cult?
Oh, not yet. Not as far as I know.
Not yet.
The night is young.
He just says, well, if they can get to water, we can go pick them up.
Oh, fabulous. Via the same method? And she gestures at Chessie.
He calls over to Ross. Ross, you think she's got another trip in her?
She's not looking great, Mac. Maybe 1 or 2 more jumps tonight, tops, before she has to rest.
I could, try healing her a little bit more, if that would be helpful.
Are you a medic?
Not exactly. Not at all. But I can use magic a little bit.
I have, like, experience with, like, human first aid, but I'm not a veterinarian. Give it a shot if you want.
Oh, well, neither am I, but this is, first try for everything. And Tammy Jo will smile, what she hopes is reassuringly.
You're gonna come over and approach Chessie then?
Yes. All right. Hold on, Zelda.
Yeah, they're like, looks at you with these big, yellowy, glassy eyes. Nictating membrane, like, blinks a couple times sideways at you.
Now remember, Tammy, animals really like sudden, sharp, and surprising movements. So do lots of them and you'll be golden.
Boom, flash, flame, bloom.
Yeah, they really enjoy that.
You see Ross stands up with, like, the supplies she had and says,
Easy, Chess. She's a wizard or something. She's gonna try and help you.
I'm gonna do my best, sweetie. All right, hang on.
Zelda's just listening to all of this. She doesn't want to interrupt, but she's kind of curious what the hell's going on over there.
just put on hold.
Uh-huh.
That's a 7.
All right, a 7. This is just use magic to heal?
Yes, so the glitch.
Nothing that'll upset these wizards who are going to save us.
Exactly.
Oh, no.
Oh my God.
Trying to turn Jessie into a cat. That worked well the last time.
I think it's gotta be a problematic side effect. Tammy Jo has never tried to heal a non-human before.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
She doesn't know how this biology works.
Yeah, incredible. You go and place a hand on Chessie. There is sort of a green pulse of magic. And you see some of Chessie's wounds, the rips in her scales and the, like, lash marks where the seaweed was maybe, like, constricting, heal. And she seems to, like, sigh as, like, pain subdues and disappears. It's difficult because she's in this chlorine pool, not her natural habitat, but they seem to be using this location as, like, a return to base sort of safe house. So this definitely helps her a lot. And she splashes into the water. You see her, like, little snake tail with, like, almost beta fins all over the end of it and, like, bright, vibrant colors, flashes up and, like, slaps the water a couple times as, like, a thank you gesture. But when you turn, being like, oh, I did a good job, you look and you see Agent Spiegel has his gun drawn on you, and Agent Ross, she has her hand extended, and that sword that she'd been carrying flies across the room into her grip. And runes down the blade light up with this blue ghostly light. You hear in your head, well, now, I may have revealed myself a bit there, but I trust you can talk your way out of this, Tammy Jo. Sorry about that. Thought I'd lend a hand.
Oh, you do have the worst timing, don't you?
Ross is just glaring daggers at you, and she says,
Mammon sent you, didn't he? You're one of his.
Hey, Tammy, how's it going over there?
Still the hold music on Tammy's work phone play.
She's really busy. I'm gonna figure out what we're doing next, guys. Hey, you know what? I'm putting it on speaker so we can all enjoy this music.
I've seen fire and I've seen rain.
That's some James Taylor. We're all gonna just chill. Herschel, you're a fan. I can tell. Just like kind of leaves it there. I'm just gonna listen and wait.
Incredible.
I like to imagine on the little thing that they're tracking the phone, it's just going in circles, and it's just they're doing donuts. That's what Eric's doing. Just like, so how long am I doing this for?
You just found like some gas station parking lot just going around and around.
We can't stop. We can't take the chance. Just keep going.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So Tammy Lynn, what do you say? These two apparently have a real big problem with your patron.
Honestly, that's understandable. I think Tammy Jo just sees his weapons drawn and puts up her hands, and if she can step back slightly without stepping closer to Chessie, she will. She doesn't want to look like a threat to Chessie.
You step away from the pool and away from them.
Okay. No. I don't know anything about anybody named Mammon. I have some powers. This is true. I didn't per se ask for them, which is sort of true. She didn't add that they were offered to her. She didn't say no.
Uh-huh. Yeah, role play out what you're gonna say, but then you're gonna have to roll manipulate someone.
As you saw, as I was starting to tell you, I do have some powers. I use them to protect against monsters when I can and protect my friends. All of you here are undeniably my friends at this point. You have saved my life. I certainly do not wish any of you any ill, and I will do whatever I can to help you. And then I hope maybe you can tell me more about this Mammon and what he has to do with what's going on here. All right, we'll roll charm. That is a 7.
Well, I will remind you, you have luck if you want to use luck here. But if you want to keep that mixed success, I have things in mind.
Ooh, good point. I mean, this one shot is sort of soft canon, right?
I mean, sure, let's go with that.
Everyone's watching Ray's face real careful all of a sudden.
Yeah, I am. I think I want to see what happens on a mixed success.
Okay, on a mixed success.
You die.
You see Ross, again, still with the blade kind of at the ready. And she looks over at her partner and she says,
What do you think, Mac?
and he, again, gun trained on you, Tammy and Joe. I don't know, it's an awful coincidence. We did just murk one of his other lackeys. And she says,
Well, when you put it that way, what's one more?
and she'll bring the sword up close to your throat, Tammy Lynn. And on a mix with manipulate someone, you have a chance to say something to prove to them you mean it. Here's your chance. In fact, I'll let you read a bad situation to sort of help yourself in this moment.
Okay.
To maybe determine what you could say to get your positive outcome on a mix.
Okay.
Have them talk to all your good friends in the car. We're all very believable, reliable, and definitely would not make the situation worse.
Just think about how Eric would handle this situation. Because remember, he always lands on his feet. It doesn't matter who he lands on to land on his feet.
I was going to say Herschel's the one who's going to land on his feet from now on.
Eric is going to land on Herschel's feet.
Yeah.
Right? That's how that goes.
Exactly.
Yes. All right. That was an 11.
Holy crap.
Fortunately.
Okay. I'm going to let you ask 3 questions.
Okay.
They do not have to be from that list. You can ask 3 questions, just blanket across the board here.
Oh, interesting.
To try and figure out what you could say to these 2 secret agents that might get them to back down and not treat you like a threat.
This is really sort of maybe a question for Ray.
Yeah.
There are things that Tammy Jo knows about her patron and things she does not know.
Mm-hmm.
And she is not the smartest woman in the world. She's shrewd. She's business shrewd. But sometimes she makes bad calls. Does she have any sense of whether her patron actually is like an aspect of Mammon?
He's probably mentioned it to her. He's quote-unquote middle management, but he has lots of ambition. He may or may not be gunning for the boss's job, and Tammy would be aware of that. Because that's kind of a part of their deal, is he's using her influence to one-up on his influence.
All right, good to know. Gunning for the boss's job.
Incredible, by the way. Oh, what a good read on that.
And I mean, of course, that is the kind of entity that Tammy is going to make a deal with.
Mm-hmm.
It's perfect. I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah, I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine.
A match made in hell.
Straight from the place apart. I will say, asking about your patron, very good use of one question. Now you just have to figure out your other two.
Yes, I am thinking hard.
Ask if you can ride Chessie. I mean, you've got 3.
Just burn one.
You might as well throw it.
I guess, is there something that is sort of so antithetical to serving Mammon that if I could do it or say it or prove that I have done it, that would serve as proof that I'm not directly / knowingly serving him?
Sure. The fact that your patron is sort of in secret rebellion against his demon prince definitely makes you less associated with this entity. And if you claim that, I think the fact that you overheard them say they just murked one of his other servants, professing and being able to say, like, no, I get what you mean. I'm not a spy. Like, I'm not here to retaliate for what you did previously. I don't even know what you're talking about as far as, like, who got killed.
Yeah, okay.
That certainly helps, that you have, like, no context for who they're talking about having gotten rid of recently.
All right, final question. Do I have any sense of whether they would be interested in a double agent?
You don't? But Tammy Lynn, I think it's time to try and strike a deal. Or Tammy Joe. I keep calling you Tammy Lynn. You're Tammy Lynn in my universe. It's a parallel.
There we go.
That's her secret agent name, so we know the difference.
Yeah, Tammy Joe, I think proposing such an arrangement would certainly seem uncharacteristic of the previous experiences these two have had. And you wouldn't know that, but, like,
all right,
that's a fun instinct of Tammy Joe's to lead into that just helps you out on a meta level in this situation.
And her instinct is always, what is the deal I can make here?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
This is basically how she closed her last condo. Change a few details, but it's very similar.
Minor details.
Yeah. Someone in a snakeskin vest with a katana.
Yeah, that's exactly the image I had.
Yes!
It was a slightly shorter blade, but it's basically the same image.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so what do you say? How do you use this very quick information that you sort of piece together in the moment as this woman in dark goth makeup lifts a giant sword at your neck?
Tammy Jo loves her makeup so much. They can talk about that later, though.
Yep.
Yeah, I think she just says again, now hold on. I think we can have a conversation here. As I said, as you have seen, I do have some powers. There is someone I work with, but it is not this entity, Mammon, that you are concerned with. It sounds to me like you might be worried about, well, infiltration of sorts. Is that the case?
More or less. You see, Spiegel has his finger not on the trigger, but on the trigger guard of his gun as you continue to talk.
Mm-hmm.
You're kind of winning him over.
Yeah, good trigger discipline. I respect that. Okay. I don't entirely know how to prove to you that I'm not who and what you think I am, apart from to offer this. The being that I do have an arrangement with would like to see Mammon fail, personally. I don't know if personally is the right adjective there. Is there perhaps a way we could work together? Maybe there is information that I could gather and supply to you to help your fight against this Mammon, and doing so would be in no way objectionable to me. I think that would only help me out as well.
You see Ross still gripping the sword, but she looks over at Spiegel. And he says, maybe Edgecrest isn't quite so unique. And he will holster his gun, and she slowly lowers the sword. And you sigh of relief.
She just sighs a sigh of relief and then says brightly, "So who's Edgecrest?"
One step at a time, lady.
Oh, my friends, I'm sorry they've been on hold this whole time.
Yeah, do you want Chessie to go pick him up?
If she's feeling up to it.
I mean, I suppose we could just leave and then head to them. Yeah, I would think with her wounds done, she's feeling better. Jesse's just been like looking back and forth between you all throughout this whole interaction. And just like tail comes up and like slaps the water as like an affirmative. This bald man with like a little bit of like beard shadow and like square glasses comes to this like pool area, and he's carrying a tray filled with fish, like fish from the fish market.
Aww.
And he says,
"Good evening, agents. Chessie, I see you've made it back in one piece. And you are?"
Tammy Jo Marple, your hometown home finder. This lady and gentleman and Chessie, were so kind as to pick me up from a very difficult situation, and we are just about to go pick up my friends, I hope. But of course, if Chessie has to have a snack first, I quite understand. It looked like she was working very hard.
Absolutely charmed. Agent Spiegel, should I be telling Miss Duskhart to update the guest list?
And Max says,
No, that won't be necessary, Mr. Lucas. She's just here to freshen up before we head out again. But please thank Miss Duskhart again for hosting us. Y'all have been a huge help. Well, how gracious. I'll be sure to pass that along. Yes, here you are, Chessie. I thought you might enjoy a late night snack.
and he empties the contents of the tray into the pool as Chessie begins hungrily snapping up the fish.
Can I get you both anything else? Martini? Cosmo? A shot of sriracha, Agent Ross?
Sorry, Adrian. We're still on the clock.
And she shoulders that massive sword again. I understand. Well, I'm at your service, should you need me. But until then, good evening. And best of luck.
And this sharply dressed man turns around and returns into the house.
Mac looks to you, Tammy Jo, and says, "Let your friends know to head to body of water, take a snapshot, and send it to us, and we'll be there in a minute."
Zelda, did you catch that? Just go to the nearest body of water. It doesn't look like it has terrifying horse monsters in it.
Oh boy, I do not want to head towards water right now. Okay, one second, Tammy. Hey, we have to go towards water now. I know I said drive towards the dry. Now we're driving towards the wet because Tammy said so.
Drive into water. Okay, I'm on it.
No, yeah, okay, but towards it, not in it.
Yeah, no, I completely understand.
Towards it, though. Towards it, and then stop.
Yeah, all right.
Timmy covers the receiver and goes, "Do they have to go into the water?"
We are not going into the water in my car.
Agent Ross says, "No, we just need someplace Chessie can take us to."
And she'll like climb onto the sea serpent as it like starts to lower its neck down for y'all to climb on top of.
I would guess Zelda saw whatever kind of water was nearby as they were driving in.
It's a coastal island. Like there's all these sort of like inlets and tributaries and bits of land that are sort of broken up by just ocean water coming in.
She's like, what seemed the most peaceful and like if I had to die there, it'd be okay. And she will guide Eric towards that one. It's the prettiest death spot.
Yeah, okay. It's like a little area of like marshy grasses with like some cattails and like runoff, basically.
It's a peaceful way to go.
And you snap a picture of that and send it to Tammy Jo's phone. You can like hold your phone in front of Chessie's like large slitted eye. Like, you see Mac loads up this black gun that he's got, holsters it, and climbs on board. And then you dive into the pool water. That echoing sound happens. And you see the whirlpool start to swirl again beneath the water's surface. creating this portal, which Chessie swims through. And all of you in the Honda Odyssey see rising out of this little marsh is Chessie the Sea Serpent, ridden by your friend Tammy Jo and these two agents in dark suits.
Zelda, are they feds?
They do look like authority, Eric. I'm going to be honest.
Ah, shit.
Do you want me to cover for you? I'm like really good at that.
Yeah,
I'm not good
legally,
at
I
it.
don't have a driver's license, so I... Yeah.
Oh, okay. Slide out. I'll walk out first.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, yeah. Do you want...
She'll clamber over like she's coming out of the driver's seat.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
They bought it.
Herschel's eyes are huge whenever he sees the serpent, and he's just like, that's a really big fish.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Why is Herschel drooling?
Yeah, you really fucked him up.
No, I fixed him up first. The first thing I did was fix him up.
Zelda, you get the esteemed record of fucking up worse than me today. I mean, that is a talent.
No, he's alive and adorable. That's a win.
Win-win, honestly.
I just shot him. I mean, you turned him into Hello Kitty.
Wait, you shot him?
Yeah. There's also things we shouldn't say in front of the feds.
Oh, sorry. Hi. Hey, Tammy. There's been some changes.
Chessie has like lowered her head so that everyone can hop off onto like the marsh grassland and come over to meet you guys in the car.
Zelda's trying to keep it together. We're official. This is everything's happened the way it's supposed to.
So Zelda, because your family's like super famous, obviously.
Shut up.
Oh, are they like super secret famous? Okay, cool. I'll keep that to myself.
She'll flash her throwing knives in her sweater. Eric, shut up.
Oh, come on. If you were going to kill me, you would have killed me already by now. I'm far too annoying.
Hi, Tammy. How are you doing? We're doing great over here. We've got even more pieces than we started with.
Just a mouth on Eric's face, like...
Oh, Chessie likes Eric.
No, I was saying this is Zelda, like just being like, shut up while I talk out the window of the Honda. Chessie doesn't have hands.
I was going to say, this sea serpent knows me well. Oh, shut the fuck up, dude.
So yeah, she would literally just be like, hi. How's it going, Tammy? Eric knows nothing.
I never said he did.
I think he got a concussion.
Oh, from one of those horse things?
Sure.
Does he need healing up?
Oh, no, he can walk it off.
He's fine. His ears are like twitched back, like the angry cats get.
Yeah.
Herschel and I will take care of Eric.
Tammy Jo, you just hear Mac behind you talking with his partner, and he says, why are we always running into these colorful locals?
Because we're cursed. I'm pretty sure of it at this point.
Oh, you're cursed. That must be so bad for you.
Oh, lighten up. You're now able to, hear things super well. And you, actually, no, that's pretty much the only thing cats are good for.
Hey, Herschel, you looked real angry when I saw you before. In timeline wise, you should probably deal with him first, because I think he upset you the most first today. And then, when you have time left over, we can have a discussion. The ears will probably wear off at that point.
Oh, Zelda, we're cool. If this wears off, we're cool, because if I hadn't been shot, I'd be okay, and this never would have happened.
I know. It's amazing how those Kelpie were able to shoot you. Anyway, Tammy Jo, you've got these lovely friends here who I'm sure won't arrest me for the numerous crimes I definitely have not committed on several countries' soil.
He's such a joker.
Mac gives you a look, Tammy Jo, and he's like, technically, we only have jurisdiction in the U.S., but also, like I said, we don't have to give the forms to everybody.
It's like school all over again.
So your friends are all alive. I guess you can leave this to the professionals.
And she'll turn to go back towards where Chessie is in the water.
Well, if you really want us to leave it to you, we certainly can. We were primarily here on a nice day trip, but you did say previously that you discovered you were outgunned. We've got several more guns between us. That wasn't a threat. It's just a statement of fact.
Mac nods and grins, and he says,
What the hell? This always seems to go well.
what's the plan?
Oh!
No!
Oh, come on. This is a good plan. This is a great plan. I swear it's a great plan.
Let's hear it, tall, dark, and shifty.
All right, okay. So the horse things, they like to eat people, don't they? Right? Or at least take their hearts and do like weird, freaky heart stuff with them, or no hearts. I don't know. But that guy, I while I was defending the rear valiantly, he was talking about like turf and like how we could be seen as an interloper. So that made me think, because Tammy Joe's freaking terrifying with all that weird wibbly wobbly woo energy. So like, what if we like rock up to like an area where we have control of the situation, like we prepare a trap and we all rock up and we're like, yeah, we're the biggest, baddest monster hunters around, or whatever, you know, and then the horseman will be like, screw those guys, I hate people walking on my beach and being super cool. And then we'll be like, yeah, and then you guys kill him.
Hillary turns around and looks at you, Eric. She's like,
Did you just volunteer yourself to be bait?
Oh no, that's my friend.
Eric volunteered to be bait.
He's very brave, but he won't admit it.
Mac looks back at her, then sees Zelda and Herschel nodding. He's like, that's what I heard. I think it's a great plan, mister.
The bravest person I've ever met. And Herschel just kind of slaps Eric's back.
Eric's gonna sit to himself and think, should I reflect on why they feel the need to sacrifice me? And then what shred of conscience he has left is snuffed out, and he goes, nah, fuck it. All right, I'll be bait then. I'm clearly the most bait-worthy.
For the fun of narrative, we can jump right to a scene of the beach, and we can sort of explain what the plan was beyond this one part of it. But I just love the idea of an instant cut with everyone nodding and smiling at Eric, and then suddenly Eric walking on the beach towards the Ikushka.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he'll put a bit of seaweed in his hair, and he'll like find 2 scallops and put them on his chest, and he'll be like, all right, okay, I think I gotta look the part, guys, okay? I gotta look.
Before he walks on that beach, though, Zelda's gonna go up to him and she's gonna be like, okay, listen though. I believe in you, Eric. And yeah, you've disappointed me a lot. And I think you'd agree to that. But like, you're being a hero. You're putting yourself in danger for us. And as far as I know, there's no financial gain for you. So don't forget that. Also, don't say anything to this, because if it's the last time I see you, and I want this moment to be good, because you're a hero.
Okay. And then Eric's going to turn around. I have come to take your position, horseman.
Okay, yeah.
I shall become king of this sea.
Yep.
We come from the same home country. Battle me 1-on-1.
Oh my god.
1v1 me, bro.
Incredible. All right. Yeah, the Ikushka turns from whatever like dark Kelpie ritual he was about to enact, and sees this like seaweed maid in a red sweatshirt approaching. And he says,
Oh, young lass, you have come upon this beach at a dark hour.
and the horses start to up out of the sand and the waves and start to like circle around you, Eric. Almost the reverse of what a herd animal should normally do in a pack. Like instead of making a protective ring, they're now the ones as predators circling their prey.
Eric's gonna flip the seaweed hair back a little bit. I see how it is. Gotta call backup because you know what you're dealing with here is too much to handle one-on-one.
The Akushka strides forward and passes through the ring of Kelpie and says,
Oh no, I like to do the work myself.
and you see his hand, these long talons extend. Everyone else, this is technically an ambush plan, so what are you all doing to save your friend as he fulfills his role as the bait?
I kind of want to do a move, oops, and see what I can get to get something useful.
You like find something useful?
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily need to be related to the immediate problem.
Oh, thank goodness they buried all these bazookas here.
Like, oh, cool, a tank!
Whoa! A decommissioned airplane!
Thank goodness.
The thing you discover, Herschel, is that yes, you have been temporarily cursed to be a cute cat person. However, it does come with more benefits than just being able to hear stuff well, as Eric postulated. You also are able to have these retractable cat claws. You notice your reflexes are much more like heightened, so you have a +3 to tough, no matter what it was before this. And I will say, part of the plan was for you to use this new feline agility and speed to be the first one to strike.
That's awesome. That goes with my what could go wrong. So I'm going to just, if Eric's already promising this, I want to go ahead and charge in.
Okay, sure. Kick some ass.
Yeah.
As we see the Akushka about to rip Eric's heart from his chest and I guess potentially turn him into a Kelpie. Silhouetted by the light of the moon, you hear...
Terrifying.
Yes. That's 8 on the dice, +3 is 11.
Hell yeah. So what benefit to kick some ass are you going to use here?
Yeah, I'm going to inflict terrible harm.
Nice.
And I'm going to reduce Eric's harm using my what could go wrong by 1. So any harm that he's going to suffer for the way this works, or the fallout of it, is going to be 1 less.
Gotcha. All right.
Because Herschel wants to be the one to cause harm.
Yeah.
He's like, no, this is personal.
Your knife is normally 2 harm?
1 harm.
Okay. Well, your claws are definitely 2. Or actually, Timmy Joe, you have the Monsters Playbook. Does claws on there have a natural attack base to it?
Yes, claws are 2 harm hand.
So if you're inflicting extra harm, you're going to do 3 harm all day to this horseman. And you're not letting Eric be harmed. I suppose that means you would take some harm?
Yeah.
The Akushka instead will rake at you with its claws, a claw-on-claw fight.
Yes.
But it'll be 2 harm also, since it's the same base attack.
Okay, that's fine.
Everyone else, the ambush has sprung. What is everyone's part you're going to play in this attempt to defeat the horseman?
When Eric was going into this, he was going in there as bait, but presumably he is also still armed with his gun. Yes, Eric?
I've got these guns and also my spellbook. And yeah, my gun and baseball bat, yeah. He's probably going to use the spellbook, yeah.
Well, whether you're going to use it or not, Tammy Joe insisted on enchanting your gun before you went into this.
Oh, that will help a lot, actually.
So I have to roll for it. So we'll see if it is actually enchanted, or if
could be a glitch.
Yeah, or maybe you too have animal ears now, which could be helpful.
If you turn me into the Little Mermaids, I'm going to be mildly impressed.
It would sort of add to the overall sort of bait approach that you were doing. It adds some gravitas to I'm going to take over your realm. That's a 9.
So there is a glitch to this. What is it going to be?
Oh gosh. If I chose the effect is weakened or the effect is a short duration, would that mean that he could only get 1 shot off with it enchanted or something like that? Or do you know?
If you choose weakened or short duration, it'd probably be that the magic only lasts for 1 shot or something. So you'd need to really make sure you kicked butt on the one that you fired off that was enchanted.
You enchanted 1 bullet of mine.
Yeah, more like a bullet versus the gun itself gets enchanted.
Yes. I think I'd like to do the magic draws immediate unwelcome attention.
Sure.
I'm just trying to think what that would look like.
I know what it looks like.
Okay. All right.
We'll say that this was a sort of a ranged enchantment of if they enchant it beforehand, they'll sense that. But if I can do it from range, then it'll be a surprise. Haha, I'm not bait. I'm actually an assassin.
Perfect. Okay.
So you go to cast this spell that does enchant your weapon, Eric, but a bunch of the Kelpie, see a magic effect happening, look around, and then see you, Tammy Joe, up on a dune, waving your arms around to cast.
All right.
So a couple of them are going to peel off and go after you.
Okay.
Because it's another target to potentially murder and turn into one of their kind.
Totally.
Your gun is enchanted, though, Eric. Do you want to team up with Herschel and take a shot at Horseman?
Yeah, let's do this.
All right.
Okay, I'm going to just shoot.
Eric is very safe from the Kelpie, for he is heartless.
I was about to say, that's the biggest mistake any monster will ever make, is converting Eric to their side. It's oh, this was a mistake. He's so annoying.
Bad luck charm.
Exactly. Oh, please don't miss. Oh, okay, that's an 8. So I'm taking a bit of harm, but that's okay.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Worth it.
Yeah.
Yes.
You take a shot at this Ikushka. A handgun is normally 2. It's enchanted. It'll do another 3.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah, you shoot this gun, and this green bullet impacts with the Ikushka's chest, which you see when it impacts, it blows like a hole out of him, and the area around it seems like it's very dried out, as if this bullet was sort of dehydrating as it passed through him. And he kind of grips at his shoulder where you've put this hole in him as this cat boy is like going at his face.
Ah! You lying false bitch! I'll crush your black heart as it beats!
And he kicks you with his big horse hoof.
Okay, yep.
So you'll take 2 harm as you are stamped into the ground.
Okay, I'm still stable. We're all good.
Zelda,
Oh boy.
time to be a hero.
Yeah. She does have a move called Sneaky, which is when she attacks from an ambush or from behind, she inflicts 2 harm.
Ooh.
I don't know, do we add a weapon or is that just that?
It's added onto a weapon. It's like an extra bonus damage that you do.
Then she definitely got her shotgun from Herschel's car. She didn't carry it on the beach.
Okay, yeah.
But I feel like she had enough to know that they're going to a showdown. So she definitely has it, a little like back holster.
Okay, cool. So you're going to attack from an ambush, a sneaky position, right?
He seems very distracted by whatever Eric and Herschel are doing.
Yeah, no, you definitely can tell that, like, the thing has begun.
Yes.
Because, Zelda, you are sitting in Chessie's mouth.
Oh, that's awesome.
As she is swimming through the, like, low tide, Ross and Spiegel are riding on, like, one of her finned crests on the back of her, but because you have an ammunition weapon, you can't get wet. So Chessie just, like, lets you climb in. You're very careful to avoid all her sharp teeth.
I feel like Zelda negotiated this. No, it's strategic. I need to be in the mouth.
And you hear that. And bursting out of the shoreline from the waves is Chessie the sea serpent, who just sort of opens her mouth. You leap out with the shotgun. Ross leaps off, her sword alight, and Spiegel also tamps down into the ground and gets ready to take a shot with his black gun. But you have the first attack here with your ambush move.
Excellent. It doesn't have a roll. It just I get attack, so it'd be the tough, right?
It'd be kick some ass.
Okay, that is 9.
I want to help out.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I don't need to roll, you just get 2.
So it's an 11.
What?
Yeah, so I'm just gonna use my claws to grab the horseman and just move him, like, in the way.
Yeah, position him to a point where he's, like, open and available to get shot.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool. So then you just do your harm and choose the extra effect that you're doing at a 10 plus.
Shotgun is 3. Then I guess it's plus 2 from the sneaky.
Yep, so 5.
Okay. Ooh.
If you do extra damage, you're on 6.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. As much as part of I want to do something fancy, I'm like, you know what?
Just blow its fucking head off.
Zelda's like, no. You're here. This is your best shot. Just do more damage.
Okay. 6 overall to this thing.
Yes.
You shoot this thing as you run up on the beach, get a good shot as Herschel sort of pulls his mane. You get right up under and blast this thing, and like half of his horse face is just taken off, leaving just like bone and exposed, shattered tooth and jaw.
Oh my god.
Tammy Joe, you have Kelpie that are rushing at you, swarming you.
Yes.
You see a couple of them open their large jaws to try and devour you. I'm going to roll a couple rolls now.
This is kind of like Final Destination. You tried to avoid getting trampled by the Kelpies, and now the universe is writing itself. You will be trampled by the Kelpies.
The first Kelpie that comes at you, you see its head riddled with holes, and it slumps to the ground. You see Mac has fired that dark revolver of his at it. Then he's like tackled by a Kelpie himself and has to like wrestling it on the ground as it like snaps at him. Sort of shoves the gun in its jaw as like a brace so it can't bite down on him.
Nice.
God.
But another horse creature leaps from the sand to like come down and land on you. And in midair, you see that massive sword cut it in half. Ross swoops in the air, grabs the sword out of the Kelpie, and brings it down again and splits this thing into like 4 pieces, essentially.
Whoa!
Her hair is glowing and her skin is a little translucent. You can kind of see her bones through it. So she has this very ghostly look to her as she comes down and lands in front of you and looks back at you. You hear this echoing double voice that says,
If we just let you die, we'll never find out if you were telling the truth before. Guess it's your lucky day.
do you want to help them out as the stampede sort of rushes the dunes where you're at?
How many Kelpie are there?
Several.
Okay.
Enough to ruin a birthday party.
Roll plus weird for me.
Okay. 10.
Now, Tammy Joe, we all know good leadership is the key to success. And without it, plans sometimes just seem to fall apart. And I will answer your first question. There's dozens of the Kelpies around. There's only one Akushka. Okay.
Tammy Joe is going to stick with the plan they made, because sometimes leadership means sticking to the plan, even if there is chaos happening.
Mm-hmm.
So in this break that the agents have given her, she is running for the water.
Okay.
And she is going to try to replicate what she did before and keep the Kelpies on land.
Oh.
So that they cannot go back in the water and escape or regenerate.
Okay. You rush to the water's edge to bar it from the Kelpie and their leader. Go ahead and roll use magic.
12.
12. Okay.
That I would have used my luck on if it didn't work.
We love when the dice cooperate. So Herschel, Eric, Zelda, the Akushka, now like clutching its half-ruined face, one shoulder like limp and unable to move, swats at you all to get you off it, and does start to like move as quickly as it can, stumbling towards the water's edge, trying to reach there in order to like recover, because you saw before that Kelpie returned to the waves to regenerate its form. And when it touches the water, that green sheen slicks over it, and it touches the water but can't put itself in the water. Like it literally acts like a hydrophobic material when it tries to put its hand and like get the water onto its wounds.
My lady, please. We need your help. Don't let her shut us out from you.
Making one final desperate plea to his demon lord Leviathan.
I think Herschel wants to take advantage of the moment and kick some ass.
Sure.
That is a 13.
Hot damn.
Okay. What does Herschel do to destroy the Akushka?
Yes.
While the Akushka is like looking down at the water and like trying to get in, and it just sees its own reflection, Herschel's just going to move in behind him and just go, boo, and then just decapitate him with the claws.
Claws raking across the throat.
Yeah.
Love that. You slit the Akushka's throat and he splashes into the water, unable to like actually enter it.
Oh no.
And you see his form starts to like take on sort of a dried, withered appearance. And he just and becomes like dried out paper on the wind. A stiff breeze comes by and just blows him away. And everyone else who is fighting with the other Kelpies, they also start to stumble forward as they dry up, cut off from their source of power, the ocean, by Tammy Joe's spell. And they also break apart, collapse, and dry up and drift away in dust. And all over this beach suddenly are the remains of the missing people that had their hearts torn out as the seaweed just blows all away. Jessie comes over where the Akushka had fallen and then looks over to you, Herschel, and like blinks its large yellow eyes at you.
I think Herschel's just gonna give a little wave.
They tilt their head and spiral back into the water, creating a very large splash. And you see their tail hit the water's surface and splash a bunch of water on you. And as you wipe it away, the cat transformation is gone.
Well,
the Acutia is defeated. The Kelpie have all perished without the thing that created them maintaining their existence. You guys did it.
Yeah.
Yay!
And we maybe cut to the next day, as now the beaches of Ocean City are opened again. And this beach here on Assateague Island has been shut down. The commissioner, Officer Burke, Lieutenant Fletcher, they're all coming here. That strange post-industrial punk mortician is there, just examining all the different bodies. We see your group sort of hanging around in the Honda Odyssey or nearby it, a little ways off from this beach. And a dark black sedan pulls up. And getting out the front and passenger seat are Agents Ross and Spiegel.
Damn, you talk to him. Talk to the suits.
I mean, I can talk to them.
No, Eric, we have to protect you.
Tammy will give a friendly wave as soon as they step out of the vehicle. And
I think you guys probably had just finished giving your official statements to the local authorities. Of we couldn't go to the beach on Ocean City, so we went to the beach here and found all these bodies. How'd you miss them?
Yeah.
It was real weird.
just everywhere.
You know what's more disturbing than finding a bunch of hearts on a beach? Finding the bodies that belong to the hearts on the beach.
Do you think maybe it was a serial killer team?
Anyway, Spiegel comes up to you and he says,
Nice work on that dodgy doublespeak on your official statement there.
Thank you.
We're used to it.
I've lied to police before.
he raises an eyebrow at that, but he's like, I suppose that's as good an interview process as any.
Well, I am still up for exchanging information if you would like to sometime.
I think some contract work could definitely be in your future. We honestly are a bit off the books ourselves right now. We haven't been in touch with head office in quite some time, but if we manage to smooth over that speed bump, we'll let you know.
I appreciate it. You do have my business card. Number won't change.
Ross grins and she says,
Don't worry about it. We'll call you.
If you guys ever need magical shit and you're not concerned where it came from or who it came from or if it's been legally acquired, call Tammy and then Tammy will tell me and I can hook you up.
Boss, I think it's their job to ask where magical shit comes from.
Oh, is this trying to sell drugs to the FDA?
Yeah.
More like the FBI, but good luck out there, friend. You had an interesting way of going about life.
Still got the seaweed in the hair.
It's just been a part of the look since that night.
Yeah, exactly. I am now king of the sea. That is what Eric believes.
Agent Spiegel offers his hand to you, Tammy Jo.
She takes it, shakes firmly, and blushes just ever so slightly.
He gives you his winning Texan smile, and then we'll turn to get into the driver's seat. And as the car sort of backs up and then pulls onto the road to leave the island, Ross's window rolls down. She makes eye contact with you, Zelda, and they sort of just are slowly pulling out. But she says,
Things don't always work out so well for heroes. A lot of the time, that word just means someone trying to do the right thing got killed doing it. Be careful out there, kid. It's not a kind calling.
It's not a calling, it's family. And she doesn't quite make eye contact.
she gives you a solemn nod and the window rolls up and they drive away.
Wow, that hit real hard, everybody. And she pulls out in her purse and she still, that bag she has, she still has the corn dog from yesterday and just starts eating it.
Yeah.
And as we pull away on Zelda munching on a corn dog and Eric adjusting his seaweed hair, Tammy Lynn maybe fishing her shoes out of her purse. And the Honda Odyssey starts up and your van goes the opposite direction back towards Jupiter Hollow. That is where we will end our session.
Awesome.
Amazing.
And the crossover series as a whole. Yeah. Thank you guys for being the final fourth part of this one.
Yeah, thanks for inviting us.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Please plug your stuff so our listeners will know where to find you guys.
Yeah, you can find all of us wherever you get your podcasts usually. We are $2 creature feature. You can find us on most social media at the number 2, the word dollar, and the word creature. You can find me specifically at Mr. Ray RPG. There's an underscore between Mr. and Ray and RPG. And yeah.
I have been Laura. You can find me on Twitter at General McMill, which is GeneralMcmill. This was a blast. Thank you, Natalie, for, not killing me, among other things.
I'm Megan. You can find me on Twitter at KawaiiNot, KAWAIINOT. That's where I post when I do different streaming stuff, because there's no way to remember. I can't.
And I'm Nai, who has played Eric. You can find me on Twitter at ErzatzExpert, so that's ERSATZ expert, and that's all one word. But yeah, this has been a lot of fun, and I'm now glad that I'm King of the Sea, which has been a dream of mine since I was just a wee lad.
Soft canon, King of the Sea.
Yeah.
Once again, thank you guys for joining me. Thank you, adventurers, for listening and supporting this expanded universe idea. I hope you all enjoyed hearing these stories about Ross and Spiegel and all the hunters they got to meet on their travels through this series. I hope it encourages you to check out the work our friends from the other podcasts are doing on their shows. And if you're new to our show, I hope you'll come back. We've got a lot more stories for you to enjoy. Take care, adventurers. We'll see you next time. Ross and Spiegel drive away from Jupiter Hollow. We see Spiegel nodding grimly as he finishes a phone call with someone.
I don't believe it.
Which part? That we aren't fired, or that Whitaker went AWOL too?
It just doesn't make sense. Whitaker's not the sort to get himself into this much hot water unless it was serious. Director said the Angel and those folks from Autumn Falls are with him too? Now how's that figure?
Ross scowls when Spiegel mentions the Angel traveling with Whitaker.
So, are we meeting up with the task force to bring them in?
Yep. We're supposed to rendezvous with Elias in Washington.
Suddenly, Spiegel's phone rings. An unknown number.
Hello?
Hey, cowboy. How'd things go for you and your lady in Florida?
Nana Margie?
Spiegel shoots a look at Ross, who gives a somewhat uncharacteristic wide-eyed shrug.
We worked it out. Thanks again for that lead.
Well, I'm glad. Listen, you two need to head for New Jersey as soon as you can.
Jersey? That's not really where we're...
Why?
Ross's eyes watch the road, and she grips the wheel tightly.
What do you know?
I don't know anything, kid. I just get feelings. But something big is coming, and you two need to be there. The car slows to a stop, and Spiegel and Ross sit in silence for a moment.
Hey, did I lose you?
Ross looks at Mac with her usual cold, deadpan expression, and slowly purses her lips into the slightest of smirks.
Blueberry, tweak the antenna, I'm losing signal.
A grin slowly creeps its way across Mac's face as well, and he lifts the phone up again.
All right, Margie. We're on our way.
We're definitely getting fired now.
And the two agents drive off to their next adventure.